Chapter 1028. The two of them went outside and descended from the clouds, arriving at a villa below. Your Highness Holy Son, the hall master is waiting for you inside. The guard said when he saw Wu Lingyu bringing Sima Yue in. Wu Lingyu walked in front and Sima Yue followed behind, entering a room in the backyard. Xiao Yunxiao sat on a cushion, his face full of wrinkles, looking much older than he did in the day. In the day he looked like a middle-aged man, but at night he looked like an old man. This kind of change was really surprising. She raised her head and looked at Wu Lingyu, wanting to know what was going on. I'll tell you later. Wu Lingyu gave her a look. Sima Yue and Wu Lingyu stood at the door for a while before Xiao Yunxiao opened his eyes. Hall Master, I've brought them here. Wu Lingyu said. Greetings, Hall Master. Sima Yue nodded at Xiao Yunxiao. You're Lingyu's junior brother, so I won't beat around the bush. Are you willing to join the Sage Pavilion? Xiao Yunxiao asked. Sima Yue did not expect him to be so direct, so she declined. Thank you, Hall Master, for your favor. Yue has a heavy responsibility, so I'm afraid I can't join the Sage Pavilion. You're the one who did what in the Dark Forest, right? Xiao Yunxiao said confidently. You killed my people. If you join us, we'll let this matter go. If you're not willing, then we can't keep you. You have to think carefully. Hall Master, are you threatening me? Sima Yue asked coldly. No, I'm not threatening you. I'm just stating a fact. Xiao Yunxiao said. This is because your senior brother is the Holy Son of the Sage Pavilion. If it was anyone else, I'm afraid you'd be a corpse by now. What if I say no? Sima Yue said. Lingyu, you should persuade your junior brother. Xiao Yunxiao said. I'll give you one night. If you're still like this. No need, I won't join you. Sima Yue said. My master said before that the Sage Pavilion isn't a good place. He's already unhappy that one of my senior brothers went there. If I were to join them, he would be angered to death and I would be in big trouble. So you'd rather die than join us? Xiao Yunxiao's expression turned ugly. Yes. Then I'll fulfill your wish. Lingyu. Wu Lingyu looked at Xiao Yunxiao, and then looked at Sima Yue. He raised his right hand slightly and pure white spiritual energy slowly condensed in his hand. Sima Yue did not show any signs of fear. Wu Lingyu did not move after condensing his spiritual energy, as if he was hesitating. Lingyu, do it. Xiao Yunxiao shouted. Thinking that Wu Lingyu wouldn't make a move, Wu Lingyu lowered his head and looked at the spiritual energy in his hand. He slowly raised his hand and suddenly attacked Xiao Yunxiao. Xiao Yunxiao did not think that Wu Lingyu would attack him. It happened so suddenly that his defense was a little late, and he was hit by the remaining energy. Lingyu. The shock on his face was so obvious that he had never thought of this situation. I won't kill her, Wu Lingyu said. You dare to go against my will, Xiao Yunxiao said coldly. Wu Lingyu set up a spirit barrier and surrounded the entire manor. The people inside could not leave. Xiao Yunxiao saw that he had set up a spirit barrier, and knew that he was serious. He did not plan to let anyone here go. He knew that Wu Lingyu's spirit barrier was very powerful, but he did not think that it was that serious. Because in his mind, Wu Lingyu was not that powerful. His betrayal was just an impulsive act. You want to betray me? He flew into the air and stared at Wu Lingyu. Do you know the consequences of doing this? What consequences can there be? Wu Lingyu said. You should regret that you didn't bring more people with you. As he said that, he flew up and attacked Xiao Yunxiao. I nurtured you for so many years, and this is how you repay me? Xiao Yunqing was furious. Nurture? You nurtured me for so many years. Wasn't it to cultivate a good body for yourself? Wu Lingyu said. The more powerful I am, the more powerful you will be in the future. You really wanted to nurture me. That's why you gave me so many resources and treated me so well. Do you think you can believe that? What nonsense are you talking about? Xiao Yunxiao said coldly. Of course I did so much for you. Is that so? Wu Lingyu sneered. Then what about the pill you gave me? Last time you used the excuse of checking my body to attack my soul. What about that? If I had eaten the pills you gave me all these years, you would have succeeded that day, right? Sima Yue was shocked. Xiao Yunxiao had already done something to him? You know all about it. This time it was Xiao Yunxiao's turn to be shocked. He always thought that he was very secretive and no one would know about it. Your lifespan is coming to an end, but you can't break through. So you wanted to find someone to nurture for you to use in the future. When you heard that my soul was incomplete, you felt that your chance had come. So you personally went to the Divine Devil Valley to take me away. You gave me the best resources for so many years, allowing me to continuously improve my strength. You did so much, wasn't it, so that you could become stronger after you took over my body? It was rare for Wu Lingyu to say so much. Seeing that he had nurtured him objectively, he was willing to let him know the reason behind his death. When did you know? Xiao Yunxiao asked. I knew from the start, Wu Lingyu said, but since you gave me such good conditions, I naturally had to work harder. So you didn't eat the pill I gave you from the start? Xiao Yunxiao said. So when I entered your body the last time, your soul attacked me. That's right, Wu Lingyu said, but there's another reason that you can't think of. What reason? That is, my soul has already been found and fused successfully. I have a complete soul now. You can't have any ideas about my body anymore. Wu Lingyu condensed black spirit energy on his left hand and white spirit energy on his right hand as he smiled evilly. What? How is that possible? Xiao Yunxiao couldn't believe it. The world was so big. How small was the probability of an incomplete soul meeting the other half of his soul? But seeing the black spirit energy on his hand, he couldn't help but believe it. Because the previous Wu Lingyu didn't have this at all. Wu Lingyu's thoughts moved. The two spirit energies turned into a black dragon and a white qilin. The two transformed spirit beasts attacked Xiao Yunxiao at the same time. Xiao Yunxiao's strength wasn't low. If not, he wouldn't have been able to become the pavilion master of the Sage Pavilion. He quickly used his spirit techniques to fight against Wu Lingyu's transformed spirit beasts. Sima Yue looked at the spirit beasts running around the house. She realized that among the two spirit beasts that Wu Lingyu had, the white qilin was slightly weaker while the black dragon was much stronger. It was just the power of the soul, but it had such strength. How strong was Mo Sha when he was alive? Chapter 1029. Xiao Yunxiao scattered the white qilin, but was hit by the black dragon's tail, causing him to spit out a mouthful of blood. He wiped the blood off and ran out of the house. Wu Lingyu quickly chased after him. Sima Yue followed him out. The two of them had already fought from the ground to the sky. Because of the enchantment, they were not very high up in the sky. Sima Yue quickly used a spatial seal to seal the surrounding space. She could not participate in a battle of their strength. She sealed the space to prevent herself from being implicated. She saw the ruthlessness on Wu Lingyu's face. This was something that Wu Lingyu's soul did not have. Only Mo Sha would be so bloodthirsty. That's right, that aura. That aura was like that of the Dark Emperor. It was definitely not something that Wu Lingyu had. Xiao Yunxiao also noticed the difference. After being defeated by Wu Lingyu, he held his bleeding chest and said, "You're not Lingyu. Who are you?" "The person who will take your life," Wu Lingyu said. "You can't kill me." Xiao Yunxiao was shocked by Wu Lingyu's aura. "Have you forgotten? If you kill me, the entire Sage Pavilion will know that you killed me. You will be hunted down by the entire Sage Pavilion." Wu Lingyu's hands paused. He remembered that every pavilion master had a mark on them. If they were killed, the mark would broadcast the scene of their death. This way, everyone would know who killed them. Xiao Yunxiao saw that Wu Lingyu had stopped and knew that he was afraid of this. He said, "Lingyu, you are my favorite disciple. I spent so much effort to nurture you. I have long treated you like a family member. If you let me go today, I can pretend that nothing happened tonight. Otherwise, if you kill me, you will become the Sage Pavilion's public enemy." "You're right. I can't kill you," Wu Lingyu said. Xiao Yunxiao's heart relaxed. He felt that his life was saved. But before he could rejoice, a huge mouth appeared behind him. With a suck, he was swallowed by the mouth. Ah! Xiao Yunxiao was sucked into his mouth without any resistance. He only let out a scream before he disappeared. As soon as the mouth closed, the space immediately returned to normal. It was impossible to tell that a bloody mouth had appeared here. Sima Yue stared at Wu Lingyu dumbfounded. She opened her mouth, but no words came out. Ah! A blood-curdling scream came from another part of the manor. Soon after, blood-curdling screams came from other places as well, accompanied by the sound of blood spurting out. Senior brother. She could feel a dense dark aura. The aura was so dense that it seemed to envelop the entire villa. Wu Lingyu flew down. He hadn't completely retracted his aura yet, giving people a sense of endless pressure. Sima Yue undid the spatial seal and looked at him saying, "What was that just now?" Although Wu Lingyu had just experienced a great disaster, there was not a single drop of blood on his body, and his clothes were not wrinkled. "You scared me." Wu Lingyu reached out and patted his face. Her voice was harsher than usual, but it was still gentle. "It's a little too sudden." Sima Yue said. "What were those things?" "They were my spirit beasts in the past." Wu Lingyu said. "Your spirit beasts? How can they still be alive?" Sima Yue cried out. "Secret technique." Wu Lingyu said. "Spirit beasts that have lived for so many years. That kind of power?" Sima Yue said in disbelief. "The devil world has such powerful spirit beasts. What if they want to do to the human world? Great disaster in the human world." Wu Lingyu's aura slowly calmed down, saying, "Since the devil world has such creatures, the human world can do it too. The ghost world can too. This world is balanced. There won't be any world that is the strongest." Sima Yue pursed her lips. How many realms was there in this world that she didn't know about? "Didn't you say that you wanted the elders to help? Why did you use the devil world's spirit beasts in the end?" she asked in confusion. "I forgot that he had the Sage Pavilion's imprint." Wu Lingyu said. "How could you forget such a big thing?" Sima Yue couldn't believe it and stared at his eyes. Wu Lingyu couldn't hide from her stare and said helplessly, "Recently, I've been feeling dizzy and forgetting some things. But I'll be fine after a while." Sima Yue grabbed his hand. "When did this happen?" "A while ago. Not too long ago." Wu Lingyu said. "Have you fainted?" "Yes." Wu Lingyu wanted to lie to her once, but seeing her concerned look, he changed his mind. "Once? You've already fainted. When did this happen?" "A few days ago." Wu Lingyu said. "But it's only been a day. Don't worry. A day and you're not worried." Sima Yue said coldly. "Why didn't you tell me?" "It's not that I didn't have time." Wu Lingyu said. "All right, we'll talk about this later. Let's talk about this first." Sima Yue knew that this was his way of diverting her attention, but the situation was more serious now. They had to deal with this first. "With such a dense demonic aura, I think those people will be here soon. We have to leave this place first," Sima Yue said. Wu Lingyu removed the barrier and the two of them quickly left the place. After flying into the air, Sima Yue looked down and saw a lot of blood and broken limbs. After they left, the people of Cloud Sea City rushed over. The dense demonic aura shocked them. "What's going on? Such dense demonic aura. There must have been a demonic expert here just now. Go find out what happened here." "Yes, Alliance leader." Some of the powers from the inner regions also came. The demonic aura here made them unable to stay calm. They ordered, "Quickly inform the clan, something big happened here. Go see if there's anything left here." "Elder, there are only a few broken limbs here. There's no complete corpse." "Have you found out who they are?" Xiaochang Tian asked. "This is the manor of the Sage Pavilion. Where's Xiaoyun Xiao?" "He's not in the city," the city guard said. "The city guard said that he left the city at night. He should be here. But there's no sign of him," Xiaochang Tian said. "Where's Wu Lingyu?" "He's not here either. I heard that he left the city not long ago. The guest elder is with him too." "Yue left the city too," Xiaochang Tian shouted. It was impossible for them not to know that such a big thing had happened to the Sage Pavilion. If they didn't appear here, it could only mean one thing. Something had happened to them. Heavens, what happened? Just as everyone was worried, Wu Lingyu's voice sounded. Everyone looked over and saw him and Sima Yue flying over from afar. This book came from book#web/. Chapter 1030. Seeing Sima Yue walking over, Xia Changtian and Zhao Xiangqi heaved a sigh of relief. Why are you guys here? Xia Changtian asked. I got first place, so senior brother came to celebrate with me. When he heard about what had happened outside the city, he said that he wanted to go and take a look to see if he could find anything. We had to meet Pavilion Master Xiao outside the city this morning, so we went there last night, Sima Yue explained. Luckily you guys didn't come late at night. Xia Changtian said. What's going on here? Why is there such a strong devil qi? Sima Yue asked in surprise. We haven't found out the reason yet, but it's definitely not a small matter. Gao Jihong said. Where's the pavilion master? Wu Lingyu asked anxiously. He arrived here last night. We didn't find him. Xia Changtian said. We found some broken corpses, but he wasn't among them. I'll go and contact the pavilion, Wu Lingyu said as he walked to the side. Soon, the space tunnel opened, and a group of people came out. What surprised Sima Yue was that Nailanlan was also among them. Nailanlan was also surprised when she saw Sima Yue. Then she looked away coldly as if she didn't know her at all. When Sima Yue saw her, she could not help but recall the time when she was struck by lightning and had to escape. Her lips curled into a faint smile. Your Highness Holy Son. The people from the Sage Pavilion bowed to Wu Lingyu. Now that Xiao Yunxiao was no longer around, he was the one with the most authority. Left emissary, have you brought the item? Wu Lingyu asked. Here it is. Ningtai took out the box and handed it to Wu Lingyu with both hands. Wu Lingyu opened the box. Inside was a broken life card. Holy Son, please, Ningtai said. Wu Lingyu nodded and condensed a ball of white spirit energy. The ball of spirit energy wrapped around the life tablet, and the life tablet immediately emitted a white light. The scene of Xiao Yunxiao's death appeared in front of everyone's eyes. At the same time, the Sage Pavilion's main pavilion in the inner regions, as well as the other pavilions, had the same scene. What is this? Ningtai cried out. How could this be? They originally thought that there would be a ferocious beast that killed the pavilion master, but all they saw was darkness. There was nothing. It was as if he had been killed in a dark space. It looks like it's inside some spirit beast's body. Zhao Xiangqi said. It should be some kind of magical beast. Xia Changtian said. Maybe it's an almighty from the devil realm. The other people in the Sage Pavilion also noticed that there were still remnants of the devil clan's aura. Why would a demon realm expert suddenly appear here? Wu Lingyu asked. I'm not sure yet. We can only continue to investigate. Xia Changtian said. Jihong, you guys continue to investigate here. Let's finish the final round of the competition first. Today was the last match of the first group. Everyone was already waiting in the arena. In order not to cause too much panic, they had to continue the match. Xia Changtian and Zhao Xiangqi left the villa and returned to Cloud Sea City. The others stayed behind to continue looking for clues. In order to accompany Wu Lingyu, Sima Yue also stayed behind. I really didn't think that you would still be alive. Nailanlan came to Sima Yue's side and said faintly. I really didn't think that you would still be alive. Sima Yue replied. I heard that you won first place in the alchemy competition. That's really surprising. Nailanlan said. Looking at you now, it's really hard to link you with the trash from before. Looking at you now pretending to be pure and holy, it's also hard to link you with the vicious and merciless person you used to be, Sima Yue said. But speaking of which, you used to like to pretend to be a white lotus in front of others. You're still as annoying as before, Nailanlan said. You too, Sima Yue replied. Nailanlan looked at Sima Yue. After not seeing her for so many years, this girl had become even more eloquent. Don't look at me like that. Don't think that I'll forget how you worked with others to kill me in the Yilin continent. Sima Yue stared back at her. Nailanlan laughed, saying, so? Do you think that you can kill me now? Do you think that I can't? Sima Yue laughed evilly. Do you think that with the protection of the Sage Pavilion, you can sit back and relax? You're wrong. I've never worried. Nailanlan said. Only I can kill you. You can't kill me. Sima Yue played with the illusion ring in her hand. She wondered if she should kill her here and use her actions to slap her face. Lan'er, come here. Ning Tai called Nalan Lan from the side. Ning Tai's voice suppressed Sima Yoyue's impulse. If she killed Nalan Lan here, she would be harassed by the Sage Pavilion. She didn't have the time to go against them now. Yes, left emissary Ning. Nalan Lan replied, then said to Sima Yue, I can see the murderous intent in your eyes. But let's wait and see. We'll see who's the one who kills who. After speaking, she didn't wait for Sima Yue to reply, and went to Ning Tai. Lan'er, you know that guy? I used to know him. Is that so? Come here, I have something to tell you. Okay. Sima Yue watched Nalan Lan leave and muttered, all right, let's wait and see. The people from the guild and the Pill subdivision searched the mountain villa for an entire day, but didn't find anything. The people from the Sage Pavilion didn't find anything either. Everyone worked for nothing. That night, people from the sect and Divine Devil Valley came to look for her. Go back with them first. We still need to settle things here for a few days. Wu Lingyu said. Sima Yue looked at the anxious group and knew that things here wouldn't be easy to settle. It wasn't good for an outsider like her to be here. She nodded and went out of the villa. Han Miaoshuang, Su Xiaoxiao and Ying Baichuan were waiting for her outside. Senior brother, senior sister, senior brothering, why are you here? Sima Yue went forward and asked. Han Miaoshuang and the others saw her coming out and sized her up. Junior brother, are you okay? I'm fine. I wasn't here when it happened. Sima Yue said. What's going on here? Why did the Devil Clan suddenly appear? Ying Baichuan asked. Sima Yue looked around and said, let's talk when we get back. It was so chaotic here. Some things weren't suitable to be said here. Han Miaoshuang and the others understood. Ying Baichuan said, you've been out for so long. Master heard the news and was worried about you, so he asked us to bring you back. Instructor Mao too. When he heard the news that something happened outside, and you were outside, the air pressure almost froze us to death. Han Miaoshuang said. Then let's go back. Chapter 1031. After getting on the flying beast, Han Miaoshuang couldn't wait to ask. Little junior brother, what happened there? Sima Yue looked at her curious expression and said, why are you so curious? I heard that the Almighty from the Devil Realm came. Han Miaoshuang said. Did something happen to the Sage Pavilion? Ying Baichuan asked. Yeah, it said that Xiao Yunxiao was eaten by a powerful being from the Devil Realm. Sima Yue said. Did someone see it? Su Xiaoxiao asked. Sima Yue shook her head and nodded. What does this mean? Han Miaoshuang imitated her and shook her head and nodded. No one saw it at that time, but we all saw the last thing he saw before he died. Sima Yue said. Sage Pavilion's secret technique? Ying Baichuan asked. Yes. Sima Yue said. Senior brother Wu used a secret technique to let us see the last scene of him before he died. It should be inside the body of the great demon. It's really the Devil Clan. Han Miaoshuang blinked twice. She couldn't believe it, but there was a trace of excitement on her face. Sima Yue looked at her helplessly and said, why are you so excited? Aren't you afraid of being killed by the Almighty of the Devil Realm? Almighty? Why would an Almighty care about small fries like us? Han Miaoshuang said. I've never seen an Almighty from the Devil Realm in my life. If I can compare the differences between them and us. If you really did, you wouldn't be so calm. Sima Yue said. Did anything interesting happen in today's pill competition? There is. Han Miaoshuang said. I wanted to tell you a long time ago, but I forgot about the Almighty from the Devil Realm. What happened? Sima Yue asked. Jiang Junxian, that guy. What happened to eldest senior brother? When the competition started today, the Jiang family found out that his name was on the name list, so they made a scene. In the end, that guy changed back to his original appearance in front of everyone, and even scolded the Jiang family. The Jiang family originally wanted to take him away, but Shi Qianji brought people out, and the Jiang family members were beaten up. Han Miaoshuang said. After that, that guy got the 5th place in the alchemy competition. The Jiang family was so angry that they almost vomited blood because Kong Junchul didn't even enter the top 10. That's why this is the best way to slap his face, Sima Yue said. Isn't it? You didn't see it. When the Jiang family saw his final results, their faces were full of regret and unwillingness. Their expressions were so funny. Han Miaoshuang said with a smile. I think they went to look for him. They probably want him to return to the family, said Su Xiao. Then they will be disappointed. Sima Yue smiled. Isn't that so? Han Miaoshuang said. You abandoned him like that back then, and now you want him to go back just like that. With that guy's temper, it would be merciful if he didn't exterminate the Jiang family. Agreed. Su Xiao said. That Jiang Junxian is really strong. Ying Baichuan also saw the farce in the day and said, it's normal for the Jiang family to feel regret. Unfortunately, there's no medicine for regret in this world. Sima Yue said. Have you talked to him? With who? Jiang Junxian? Why do we have to talk to him? Han Miaoshuang scoffed. Master's life jade is still with him. Sima Yue said. We have to know if Master is still well. If something happened to Master, he will tell us. Su Xiao said. After we go back, let's talk to him. Sima Yue said. We have to ask him personally to be at ease. She also wanted to ask how the Sky Splitter Devil Sword was doing. They returned to Cloud Sea City and went to the inn. Other than Mao Sanquan, Liang Wuming was waiting there too. Senior uncle, Instructor Mao. Sima Yue walked in front of them like a child who did something wrong. Are you okay? Liang Wuming looked at her worriedly. I'm fine, Sima Yue said. We weren't there when it happened. But you were outside the city. Mao Sanquan said. How could you go outside the city alone? I didn't go alone. I went with senior brother. Sima Yue said softly. No matter what, it's good that she's back now. Liang Wuming said. You go and rest first. Mao Sanquan said. Before the situation outside stabilizes, all of you stay here. No one is allowed to go out. Do you understand? After he finished speaking, he even glared at Sima Yue. It was as if he said that just for her. Instructor Mao, the situation outside is still unclear. But we can confirm that there's an almighty from the devil realm. Wouldn't it be too dangerous for you to go out? Su Xiaoxiao said worriedly. We still have to investigate. Mao Sanquan said. If we weren't waiting for you, we would have already gathered at the guild and other forces. It's fine if we aren't clear about the devil realm. But since we've met here, we have no reason to retreat. Mao Sanquan said. Then you guys be careful. Sima Yue knew that the Almighty was just something created by Wu Lingyu. There wasn't any danger, so she wasn't worried about them going out. Han Miaoshuang and Su Xiaoxiao heard her say that, and knew that there shouldn't be any danger outside. They weren't worried either. Ying Baichuan left with Liang Wuming. Sima Yue and Han Miaoshuang returned to their own houses. Sima Yue came to the house, set up a spirit barrier, and entered the spirit pagoda. You didn't even ask me to go out for such a fun thing. Little Seven started complaining when she saw her. That's right. I haven't gone out for a long time. Little Roar flew over and pounced into Sima Yue's arms. There were many people in the central region who saw you. If someone recognized you, it would be troublesome. Sima Yue said. Sigh, I'll go find Crimson Flame and learn how to disguise myself. I'll change my appearance when I go out. This way no one will be able to recognize me. Little Roar said helplessly. If you really learn it, I'll bring you out to play. Sima Yue said. Okay. Little Roar's figure flashed and disappeared. Why did you come in? Little Seven asked. I came to check some information. Sima Yue thought, and she and Little Seven went to the library. What information are you checking? Little Seven looked at the endless bookshelves and asked curiously. Senior brother said that he had already fainted once. Although he was only unconscious for a day, I feel that the situation is very serious. I have to do some research and see if there are any records of this situation in the ancient books. Sima Yue said. There are so many books. How long will it take you to find them? Little Seven casually took a book and flipped through it. Take your time. We'll find them eventually. Sima Yue said. I have to find them too. Chapter 1032. Sima Yue stayed in the spirit pagoda for more than a month. She asked all the people and spirit beasts in the spirit pagoda to search together. Finally, they found a book about spirit fusion. You guys keep looking. I'll see if this book has the content I'm looking for. Sima Yue sat on the ground with the book and started reading. The book was very thin. Sima Yue read it carefully and finished it in less than half a day. There were some conditions for soul fusion, but for the current situation, it was useless. Very quickly in the same area, Little Seven and the rest found a few more books about soul fusion. Sima Yue read them one by one and finally found a book with a similar situation. In the book, there was a person whose situation was similar to Wu Lingyu's. There was a mistake during the soul fusion, which resulted in the soul and body not fusing completely. Periodically his memory would be confused, his strength would weaken, and he would fall into a deep sleep. Then he would return to normal, weaken again, and repeat until the soul and body fused completely. The last page of the book said that the only way to solve this situation was to fuse the soul and the body as soon as possible. However, there was no record of how to make the soul fuse as quickly as possible. After that, they didn't find any useful books. Fortunately, the book mentioned that there was no need to worry about such a situation. It was only a matter of time before the soul and body merged. After flipping through all the books in the area, Sima Yue gave up on searching. This situation was as unbelievable as her soul transmigrating. It was already difficult to find a few books. If there wasn't even this area, then there was probably nothing left. You don't have to worry. Didn't the book say that his situation isn't too serious? As long as his soul and body fuse, everything will be fine. Little Seven comforted. I know. I'm just thinking, what if his strength decreases when he's in danger? Sima Yue said worriedly. However, she felt that her worries were unnecessary when she thought of the powerful being from the devil realm who was following him. Even if there was a dangerous situation, that magical beast would not let anything happen to him. She brought Little Seven outside, and it had only been 7 or 8 days since the appearance of the demons. All the forces were still searching outside. They wanted to find some clues, but they were destined to return empty-handed. How could they find such a powerful magical beast just because they wanted to? Everyone was also puzzled. The supreme being from the devil world seemed to have suddenly appeared and disappeared. No one else had been eaten by him. It seemed to have only appeared to kill Xiao Yinxiao. After continuously investigating for half a month, there were no clues at all. Everyone could only call it a day and return to the city. The alchemy competition had already ended, and some forces returned home one after another. As those people left, the news of Sima Yue's elixir competition spread throughout the entire continent. Many people admired her from the bottom of their hearts after hearing her story. On this day, when she was cultivating, she found that the power of faith in her body was constantly increasing, and the speed was very fast. She was so scared that she quickly withdrew from her cultivation state. Shit. The power is getting stronger and stronger. Sima Yue was both anxious and frustrated. It was a heaven-defying power, but she could not use it. She had to think of a way to suppress it. It's really... She sighed and began to absorb the dark energy in the air to achieve balance in her body. After Mao San Quan was done with the guild's matters, the heavenly sect was also about to return home. Sima Yue went to meet Liang Wuming, and the Divine Devil Valley was also about to leave Cloud Sea City. Junior Valley Master. When the people from the Divine Devil Valley saw her, they bowed respectfully. Some of them had never seen Sima Yue before, and had some reservations towards her who came from the lower realm. They felt that she was not worthy to be their Junior Valley Master. This alchemy competition had really made them look at her in a new light. Where's Martial Uncle? Sima Yue asked. He's inside talking to the Dragon King. Foster father is here too? Sima Yue was a little surprised. Yes. Sima Yue went to the living room and saw Yang Wuming, Wu Lamai and Shui Qingman chatting happily. Foster father, foster mother, Martial Uncle. Yue is here. Shui Qingman went forward and pulled her hand, pulling her to sit beside her. Foster mother, have you been happy recently? Sima Yue smiled and asked. It's quite fun. Shui Qingman said. We were just talking about going to the Divine Devil Valley to play for a few days. Can I go? Foster mother's body is much better now, and the fetus is developing very well too. You don't have to inject spiritual energy daily for maintenance. You can go and play if you want to, Sima Yue said. Really? King, did you hear that? You said that I can go and play. Shui Qingman happily raised her chin at Wu Lamai. Since you want to go, then go. Wu Lamai had no immunity to her, so he agreed helplessly. Martial uncle, when are you going back? Sima Yue asked. Tomorrow, Liang Wuming said. In a few months, there will be a competition in the valley. As the junior valley master, it's best that you can attend. I know. Sima Yue nodded. I talked to instructor Mao last night. I can graduate any time now. But he said that I can leave my student status in the academy, and I can come out. That's good, Liang Wuming said. Then remember to come back before the competition. It's a good opportunity for everyone to see what their junior valley master looks like. Okay. On the second day, the Heavenly Sect and Divine Devil Valley left the city together. After going down the highlands, everyone left separately. After Sima Yue returned to the academy, she found an excuse to go out and send Third Mo out. Thank you so much this time. Third Mo thanked her. You don't have to be so courteous with me, Sima Yue said. I will help you look for those herbs. If I find them, I will contact you. If there's anything else you need my help with, you have to let me know. Sima Yue said. I will. Third Mo cupped his hands towards her and turned to leave. When Sima Yue returned to the academy, everyone knew that she got first place in the alchemy competition, and worshipped her even more. Sima Yue finally returned to Parting Garden. Han Miaoshuang and the rest were already waiting for her inside. But the two of them had a complicated expression on their faces. What happened? Sima Yue asked. Su Xiaoxiao passed the letter in front of him to Sima Yue. Sima Yue was shocked when she saw it. Jiang clan's people who went to Cloud Sea City were all killed? Eldest senior brother, and the rest did it? Su Xiaoxiao said. It says that only Shi Qianji has the poison in Kongjun Chul. Now Jiang clan has already given the order to prepare to fight to the death with them. Sima Yue skimmed through the contents of the letter and frowned. Why do I feel that something is fishy? What's fishy? Han Miaoshuang asked. Chapter 1033. Sima Yue placed the paper on the table and pointed at it with her slender finger. Look at this. If eldest senior brother wanted to take revenge, he wouldn't have chosen to use poison. Moreover, he would only use poison on Kongjun Chul. Maybe he wants him to suffer the pain of being poisoned before he dies. Han Miaoshuang said. Will the eldest senior brother do that? Sima Yue asked. Han Miaoshuang was stunned. Then she shook her head and said, no. If he really wanted to poison Kongjun Chul, he wouldn't have chosen such a strong poison. He would have definitely chosen a slow one to let him slowly experience the pain of death. So, this poison seems to be deliberately telling others that Kongjun Chul was poisoned to death by him. Sima Yue said, look at the later results. The Jiang family and the Black Dragon sect are fighting. Little Seven said, I understand. Someone must have wanted them to fight on purpose. That's why they did this. Recently, the middle region has been very turbulent. Coupled with what happened before the alchemy competition, we can't rule out this possibility, Sima Yue said. Now that we've encountered these things, we have to think more about it. It does make sense to think that way, Han Miaoshuang said. Those people who wanted to stir up trouble used the hatred between Jiang Junxian and the Jiang family to drag the two forces into the water. Then what should we do? Little Seven asked. What are we doing? These things have nothing to do with us, Han Miaoshuang said. Everyone fell silent. This was indeed not something that they could do anything about. Little junior brother, I'm hungry. Let's make something to eat. I haven't eaten your cooking in a long time. Han Miaoshuang looked at Sima Yue expectantly. Sure. Sima Yue put this matter to the back of her mind and took out the ingredients to prepare a good meal for everyone. What they didn't know was that, because of this battle, the news of the Black Dragon cult possessing the Sky Splitter Devil Sword had spread out. Instantly, a bloodbath was set off in the inner area, and the Black Dragon cult was almost annihilated. Fortunately, at the last moment, Shiqiu Shuang threw out the Sky Splitter Devil Sword. Those who came to besiege the Black Dragon cult started to fight among themselves. Everyone stopped attacking the Black Dragon cult and changed their target to snatching the Devil Sword. Sima Yue and the rest did not know about what had happened in the inner region. She had been living a relaxed life for the past few months, mainly focusing on her cultivation. She urgently needed to increase her strength. Only with strength would she have the right to speak. She had been stuck at the primary god emperor level for several years. Recently, she vaguely felt an opportunity to break through. Since she had nothing urgent to do in the past few months, she seized the time to cultivate in seclusion, intending to break through in one go. She found a lot of spirit stones in the spirit pagoda and began to absorb the spirit energy inside. Time passed day by day. Sima Yue kept absorbing in the spirit pagoda until her body was full of spirit energy. Then, she came out of the spirit pagoda and controlled the energy in her body to break through the barrier. Once, twice, thrice. Sima Yue did not know how many times she had tried. Perhaps it was thousands or tens of thousands of times. Under her perseverance, the invisible barrier was finally broken through. Spirit energy instantly flowed through her body. Star marks appeared. A large amount of spirit energy poured into her body from the sky, forming a spirit energy whirlpool above her house. What's going on? The people in the school were alarmed and looked over. Someone is breaking through. That's the location of the parting garden. I wonder who among them has broken through. Normally, a breakthrough wouldn't cause such a big commotion. Look, tribulation clouds. Someone noticed the tribulation clouds in the sky and shouted. Why would a breakthrough trigger a lightning tribulation? Could it be a transformation of a spirit beast? It's not a transformation of a spirit beast. The transformation lightning tribulation is different from this kind of lightning tribulation. Look, that's Sima Yue. When Sima Yue flew into the sky, those people immediately recognized her. It's actually her who is undergoing the tribulation. Oh my God, she didn't prepare at all. Is she planning to undergo the tribulation directly? Don't worry. If it's her, she will definitely be able to pass the tribulation. Sima Yue looked at the crowd of students outside and felt helpless. She originally wanted to find a remote place when she was about to break through. However, because she absorbed too much spirit energy from the spirit stone in the spirit pagoda, she was on the verge of breaking through. If she gave up, she was afraid that she would have to waste a lot of energy. Therefore, she came outside to break through and did not have time to avoid the crowd. Now she was being looked at like a gorilla. She had only broken through one level this time, so the lightning tribulation was not considered big. In the words of the top-grade purple lightning, it was not even enough to fill her stomach. After the lightning tribulation was ready, it struck towards Sima Yue. Sima Yue stopped in the air. Seeing the lightning strike down, she did not intend to dodge, and allowed the lightning to strike her directly. Those timid students were so scared that they immediately closed their eyes. As soon as the lightning touched her body, it was absorbed by the top-grade purple lightning, leaving no trace on her body. He absorbed it? Someone was so shocked that he stuttered. She did use lightning-attributed spiritual energy in the last ranking competition, but no one has ever been able to directly absorb the lightning tribulation. She's too heaven-defying. She's absorbing the lightning. Someone in the crowd looked at Sima Yue with a sinister look in his eyes. So the person the family wanted to investigate was her. The cloud spirit looked at Sima Yue from the calamity cloud and felt defeated again. Why can't this guy die? Even if she couldn't kill him, she could at least cripple him. This feeling of giving her a big meal was really not good, not good, not good at all. After the 27 lightning strikes, the cloud spirit floated away. It felt that it did not want to see her for the time being. Sima Yue passed through the lightning tribulation unscathed. This made the students in the sect scream. They had never seen such a fierce person. It was a pity that she returned to the parting garden after passing through the lightning tribulation. They had no way to get close to her. With your actions, I'm afraid the entire sect will be bustling for a few days. Han Miaoshuang said. Accident. Sima Yue shrugged. This was really unexpected. Congratulations on your successful advancement. Su Xiaoxiao was happy for Sima Yue. Thank you, senior. So, when do you plan to leave? Han Miaoshuang asked. They all knew that she was only here to advance. Now that she had succeeded, the Divine Devil Valley had something to do and she had to leave sooner or later. In 2 days. I'll stabilize my realm first. Sima Yue said. That's good too. If you go out now, you'll definitely be surrounded by those students. Han Miaoshuang said. And I have to tell Instructor Mao and the others. Sima Yue said. She did not know when she would be back after leaving the sect. She could not leave quietly. At least she had to inform the sect. A few days later, she went to Mao Sanquan's office. Chapter 1034. Mao Sanquan was not surprised by Sima Yue's arrival. Has your realm stabilized? He put down the paper in his hand and asked. Yes, it's stable now. Sima Yue said. Then you came here today to prepare to leave? Mao Sanquan asked. Yes. You are leaving too? Mao Sanquan looked at Little Seven. Wherever you goes, I will go. Little Seven said without hesitation. Then your main body. Your main body should stay here. I will follow you. Little Seven said. Mao Sanquan heaved a sigh of relief. If she wanted to take away her main body, then the advantage of cultivating in the inner courtyard would be gone. Since you've decided, I won't keep you. Mao Sanquan said. But Yue, you have to be careful when you go out. What's wrong? Sima Yue asked. There's news coming from the outside. Someone recognized you as the person who triggered the lightning tribulation and killed many people in the dark forest. Right now, many powers have issued the order to kill you. Mao Sanquan said. It seems that my ascension to the heavenly tribulation last time caused people to link it to the dark forest. Sima Yue said, but it's not surprising. They're all students of the school, and they can all pass the lightning tribulations. It's easy to guess. Now that the people outside know the truth, you have to be more careful when you're outside. Although you're quite famous now, some forces won't give up because of this. Mao Sanquan reminded him. Fortunately, your current power is not bad, and there are so many people protecting you, so it's good that you go out and explore. Just remember to be careful. The Academy has always been protecting me. For so many years, they have been pressured by those forces. Now that they know it's me, the Academy doesn't have to bear that pressure anymore. Sima Yue said. You are our student. Protecting you is what we should do. Mao Sanquan said. The Academy is proud to have produced a student like you. Thank you, Director Mao. Sima Yue said gratefully. When do you plan to leave? Mao Sanquan asked. In a few days, Sima Yue said. I still have something to settle outside. I'll leave once I'm done. Take this. If you and Little Seven encounter any danger, you can return to the school immediately. Mao Sanquan took out a box and passed it to Sima Yue. Sima Yue took it and opened it. When she saw the erase stones inside, she felt warm inside. Was he saying that no matter what the situation was, the Academy would always be her strong backing? If the Academy needs me in the future, I will definitely rush back. Sima Yue said. Yes. Go ahead. I'll come back when I have time. Mao Sanquan said. I will. Sima Yue nodded. She had originally planned to leave directly, but after knowing that someone was chasing after her, she decided to leave from the outside. A few days later, she went to Memory Restaurant with Han Miaoshuang and the others. They found a seat in the hall and ordered a table full of dishes. Little junior brother, are you really leaving? Han Miaoshuang asked. Yes, I've already settled most of the things outside. I'd rather walk around instead of continuing to cultivate here. Sima Yue said. Besides, I've been here for so long and haven't gone to the valley to take a look. I should go back for the competition this time. Yes, it's good to go to the central region. It's more suitable for people to cultivate there. Su Xiaoxiao said. You guys are in the academy. If Master sends any news back, you must inform me, Sima Yue said. Don't worry. Nothing will happen if you leave like this, right? Han Miaoshuang said worriedly. What can happen? Sima Yue said. Would they dare to come and kill me? If they really come, I'll make sure they don't return. If they know that you went to the inner region, they won't put pressure on the academy. But will they vent their anger on the Divine Devil Valley? Su Xiaoxiao asked. They won't dare to touch the Divine Devil Valley, Sima Yue said. The Divine Devil Valley's influence is too wide. They won't dare to go against the Divine Devil Valley openly. At most, they'll try to kill me when I go out. Anyone with a brain wouldn't make an enemy out of you, Su Xiaoxiao said. That's right. First place in the alchemy competition, contract master of the King of Rocks, junior valley master of the Divine Devil Valley, and an array master. No matter how you look at it, it's better to be on good terms with you, Han Miaoshuang said. There will always be those who don't have eyes. Sima Yu's lips curled into an evil smile. Or perhaps you're trying in vain to strangle me in the cradle before I grow up. As she spoke, she looked outside. The gaze from there disappeared instantly. After eating and drinking to their fill, Han Miaoshuang and the others sent Sima Yue out reluctantly. You guys can go back, Sima Yue said to Su Xiaoxiao and the others. Yes, remember to contact us if there's anything, Han Miaoshuang said. I will, Sima Yue replied. Han Miaoshuang and Su Xiaoxiao returned to the city. Sima Yue held Little Seven's hand and continued to walk towards the outskirts. Yu, there's such a strong murderous aura. Little Seven stopped and looked around. Yes, someone followed us all the way, Sima Yue said. We're already very far away from Heavenly City. Are you guys not planning to show yourself? You're indeed very sensitive. A figure flew over quickly and landed behind Sima Yue and the others. At the same time, people flew over from all directions and surrounded Sima Yue and Little Seven. Sima Yue looked at their clothes. They were all dressed in black. She couldn't tell which force they were from. Are you guys dressed like this because you're afraid that I'll find out who's after me? She said faintly. Go. Those people didn't talk nonsense with her. They attacked immediately. Little Seven went up to meet them, and those people who were attacking her were all blocked by her. You know what, you shouldn't have followed us here. Sima Yue smiled at those people. Then she injected some spirit energy into the ground. A huge spirit barrier enveloped everyone inside. Array. Those people didn't expect her to set up an array here. That's right, Sima Yue said. I specially prepared this for you guys yesterday. I said before that you guys shouldn't have followed me here. This is the dragon trapping array that I've improved. Enjoy the last of the sacred palace. After speaking, she pulled Little Seven and left. Once they left, the dragon trapping array was activated. Those people were trapped inside. They couldn't even open a space tunnel. Piak! A bolt of lightning appeared out of nowhere and hit them from the sky to the ground. Piak! Piak! Lightning struck down one after another. This commotion attracted many people from Heavenly City. When those people rushed over, they only saw the group of people trapped in the array. In a one-time use array at the side, Sima Yue held Little Seven's hand. She smiled at them and disappeared in front of everyone's eyes. This book came from the website. Chapter 1035. What Sima Yue did before she left was like a blow to the head, hitting those people hard on the head. His momentary impulse was dispelled by this blow. She could casually kill the people who were besieging her without wasting her own spiritual energy. Wasn't it courting death to go against someone like her? Not to mention, she had the entire bird clan as her backing. The forces that had sent people to kill Sima Yue had all called them back. The leader of the force that had been killed by Sima Yue rejoiced incomparably. It was a good thing that he had made them wear black clothes and she didn't know. It seemed that if he wanted to take revenge in the future, he could only resort to underhanded methods. He couldn't do it openly like this. After Sima Yue left Tianfu City, she didn't go to Divine Devil Valley directly. Instead, she went to Heartbreak Valley and brought out those who were willing to join the sect after being detoxified. Sister is back? Hearing that Sima Yue was back, Shimin Feng hurriedly put down his work and went out. He was in the middle of a discussion with the others. As soon as he left, the others stood up as well. The other people in the valley surrounded Sima Yue when they saw her. Vice Sect Leader, did you really get first place in the pill competition? Vice Sect Leader, how long can you stay this time? Vice Sect Leader, when are you going to show us your skills? Sima Yue was surrounded by them, and she could not stand their enthusiasm. What are you all doing here? Go do whatever you need to do. Baisheng appeared and chided all of them back. After interacting with each other for such a long time, these people were still quite afraid of Baisheng. Once he roared, everyone retreated to the side. Finally, Yue could see the road ahead. Let's go in first, Baisheng said to Sima Yue. When Sima Yue arrived at the main hall of the sect, she happened to meet Shimin Feng, Feng Kai and the others. Elder sister. Feng. Boss, why are you back? Sima Yue smiled at them and said, let's go in and talk. All right. Sima Yue came to the seat next to Shimin Feng and sat down. Looking at the people sitting below, she said, thank you for your hard work these past few months. Boss, if you think we're working hard, then give us more benefits. With benefits, we'll be more motivated, right? It's not impossible to get benefits, but it depends on what you've achieved during this period of time, Sima Yue said. If you do well, you'll naturally receive benefits. If you don't, then your benefits will be deducted. It's a deal. Sima Yue did not really want to deduct their benefits because she knew that a newly established force would face many difficulties. However, she did not expect them to be able to get the sect on the right track in such a short time. You guys have given me too many surprises, Sima Yue said. It seems that choosing you guys was the right choice. With boss's praise, our hard work didn't go to waste. Anayani said with a grin. What did boss come back for this time? Fengji asked. How did you know? Sima Yue raised her eyebrows. You always come back for something, Feng Kai said. Sima Yue smiled. There's indeed something. See. Feng Kai spread out his hands. What's the matter that requires you to come back personally? Baisheng asked. Sima Yue explained the recent events simply. So you're going to Divine Devil Valley? Shurchen said. It's time to go there. Sima Yue said. There's something going on in the valley. I'm going out too. Speaking of which, you haven't told us why you're back. Baisheng said. I'm back this time to bring out those who want to come out of the little realm. Also, I want you guys to pay attention to the movements in the central region. I feel that the inner region has been restless recently and has been interfering with the central region. Sima Yue said. You guys have to be careful. Don't get involved in it now. We will be careful. Shimin Feng said. That's good. That night, Sima Yue brought those people out and handed them over to Baisheng to arrange. After that, she chatted with Shimin Feng alone and brought him to the spirit pagoda to meet Shimin Li. Shimin Li was still in seclusion, and the little monster in her body was still transforming. In its words, now that there were better resources, it could transform better, and it would be better for Shimin Li in the future, so they didn't rush it to transform. Sima Yue stayed in Heartbreak Valley for 3 days. After settling the matters that needed to be dealt with, she took Little Seven to Divine Devil Valley. They took a few teleportation arrays before arriving at the small town outside Divine Devil Valley. They could only go to Divine Devil Valley here. Sima Yue and Little Seven came to an inn. Once they entered, they realized that although the place was small, there were many people. But those people were very well behaved. Many burly men sat in the hall obediently. They didn't look as fierce as they usually did. Seeing them enter, everyone in the hall stared at them. Are you here to stay? The waiter walked over and asked arrogantly. Yes, Sima Yue said. 100 middle-grade crystals a night. The waiter quoted the price directly. So expensive, Little Seven exclaimed in astonishment. Expensive? The waiter glanced at them in disdain. Do you know where this is? This is the outer area of Divine Devil Valley. There are many people here. If you think it's expensive, you can go outside. You don't need to spend money there. What's with your attitude? Sima Yue's face darkened. Is this how you treat your guests? Guests? The waiter sneered. You think you're guests just because you're here. Since you're here to ask for our help, then don't put on airs. $150 a night. Do you want to stay or not? You're still raising the price. Little Seven rolled up her sleeves and wanted to teach them a lesson. But she was stopped by Sima Yue. At the same time, a few men came out from the back of the inn and surrounded Sima Yue and Little Seven. How dare you come to Divine Devil Valley and behave atrociously? Who do you think you are? The waiter hid behind those men and shouted at Sima Yue and the rest. You're all outer disciples of Divine Devil Valley? Even though she was surrounded by so many people, there was no fear on her face. That's right. We don't welcome you here now. Get out of here quickly. You're not allowed to come here anymore. A big man chased them away with a black face. What rights do you have to chase us away? Sima Yue sneered. Rights? You're asking us what rights do we have in Divine Devil Valley's territory? Ha ha ha. How can there be such a funny person like you? Everyone laughed and looked at Sima Yue as if they were looking at a freak. Little brat, this is Divine Devil Valley. If you have something to ask of them, don't go against them. Someone kindly reminded her. What if I say no? Sima Yue crossed her arms in front of her chest with a wicked smile on her face. This book came from Pin and Book #web. Chapter 1036. No. Chase the two of them out of town and blacklist them. Don't ever accept their jobs again. The waiter shouted. Let's see who dares. Sima Yue took a step forward and the aura she emitted stunned the disciples of Divine Devil Valley. She looked around the lobby and didn't see the shopkeeper. She said, Go call your shopkeeper out. You want to see our shopkeeper? Dream on. The waiter tugged at his sleeve and said, What are you guys still standing there for? Hurry up and throw them out. Arrogant and rude, bullying others with numbers. Today, I will teach you all a good lesson. As Sima Yue spoke, her figure flashed. Everyone only saw a shadow flashing past their eyes before they saw the disciples being thrown out onto the street. How dare you? The waiter got up from the floor and pointed at Sima Yue. He was so angry that he couldn't even speak properly. He had stayed here for so many years, and no matter who saw him, they had to be respectful. He didn't expect that he would be beaten up by such a young boy today. Everyone at the scene was stunned. Sima Yue actually beat up someone from the Divine Devil Valley. This was going to be a good show. There were also people who felt sorry for Sima Yue because of her young age. Everyone who came here had a request from the Divine Devil Valley. Now that she had beaten up someone from the Divine Devil Valley, they would definitely not agree to her request. Young people are impulsive. By then, it would be too late for regrets. Although they felt that the outer disciples of the Divine Devil Valley were sometimes too much. Come on, come on. Someone is causing trouble here. That waiter was still a little tactful. From Sima Yue's performance just now, he knew that the people in his shop would not be able to defeat her. With his shout, many people immediately ran out from the shops on both sides, surrounding the entrance of the inn so tightly that not even a drop of water could trickle through. Who dares to behave atrociously outside my Divine Devil Valley? A skinny and capable man walked out from the back of the crowd. When he saw Sima Yue and Little Seven, he placed one hand on his waist and pointed at them with the other, saying, Are you the ones who beat up my Divine Devil Valley's disciples? So what if I am? Sima Yue looked at him fearlessly. Those who hurt my Divine Devil Valley's disciples, capture them and hand them over to the sect for punishment. The skinny man waved his hand, and the people from Divine Devil Valley attacked them. This time, there was no need for Sima Yue to do anything. Little Seven took down everyone in a few breaths. I never knew that the Divine Devil Valley's disciples were so arrogant. Sima Yue said. Bah, who are you? How dare you judge our Divine Devil Valley? I think the Valley Lord and the others don't know about this, right? Although she didn't interact much with Liang Wuming, but she could tell that the people from Divine Devil Valley weren't arrogant and conceited people. We've already released the signal. Soon, someone will come to capture you. Let's see how you're going to smile then. The waiter glared at Sima Yue. Seeing how calm she was, he felt uncomfortable. Is that so? Then we'll wait here. When they come, I'll ask them properly. Are they the ones who asked you to extort others, or are you the ones who are insatiable? Sima Yue took out 2 chairs and sat at the entrance of the inn with little Seven to wait. They were so calm, but the others weren't. The onlookers treated them as immature brats who didn't know the severity of the situation. They had already predicted the situation when the enforcement team came. Very quickly the enforcement team came. Sima Yue smiled when she saw the leader. The waiter and the rest smiled when they saw the enforcement team. Especially when they saw the leader, they smiled even more happily. Captain Feng. The waiter tried to get up from the ground, but he fell back down after struggling for a while. Captain Feng, you have to uphold justice for us. These 2 people beat us up the moment they came. They didn't even put our divine Devil Valley in their eyes. After speaking, he glared fiercely at Sima Yue. With Feng Dong around, no matter how powerful she was, she could only wait to be captured. That's right, Captain Feng. You have to uphold justice for us. The rest shouted. They saw Feng Dong walking towards Sima Yue, and were waiting for him to subdue Sima Yue. However, what happened next caused everyone to freeze in place. Feng Dong walked to Sima Yue and knelt down on one knee. He bowed respectfully and said, Feng Dong greets Junior Valley Master. Junior Valley Master? They were stunned. This person was the Junior Valley Master? Then what did they do just now? Brother Feng, please get up. Sima Yue took out the blood thumb ring and wore it on her finger. She then looked at the waiter and the rest and said, Do I have the right to teach you guys a lesson? The onlookers were stunned by this turn of events. Until Sima Yue and Feng Dong entered the inn, everyone was still stunned on the spot. Why aren't you guys getting up? What are you doing on the ground? The enforcers reminded the people who were petrified on the ground. Those people hurriedly got up and looked at each other. Every one of them looked like they wanted to cry, but had no tears. If they knew that she was the Junior Valley Master, they wouldn't have done such things. Brother Feng, why are you here? Sima Yue asked. I'm on duty today and was bored in the valley. I received news that someone was causing trouble outside, so I wanted to come and take a look. I didn't expect to see the Junior Valley Master. Feng Dong said. But what exactly is going on? Sima Yue told him what happened. Feng Dong slammed the table and gave the waiter and the rest a shock. Did the valley ask you guys to open an inn here, so that you can earn money here? You guys raised the price so high and looked down on everyone. You wouldn't even know if you offended someone you shouldn't offend. Feng Dong scolded. From today onwards, change a group of people to manage the town. Go back and reflect on your actions. Those people didn't dare to object and lowered their heads to admit their mistakes. Actually, this punishment was much lighter than what they had imagined. If they had met Ing Bai Chuan today, they would have been chased out of the Divine Devil Valley. Luckily, this Junior Valley Master wasn't so cold, and didn't say anything about Feng Dong's punishment. After Feng Dong dealt with them, he looked at Sima Yue and asked, When does the Junior Valley Master intend to enter the valley? We just rushed for a long time. Let's rest here today, and enter the valley tomorrow. Sima Yue said. All right. I'll bring you guys into the valley tomorrow. Have a good rest tonight. Feng Dong said. Why do I feel that there's something wrong with your words? Sima Yue asked. He Junior Valley Master, you don't have to worry. Actually, it's nothing much. It's just that the people in the valley were bored and started a bet. Feng Dong said. It's related to me? Sima Yue raised her eyebrows. Feng Dong nodded and said embarrassedly, Everyone is betting whether you can break the array outside and enter by yourself. Chapter 1037. Sima Yue was speechless when she saw the smile on Feng Dong's face. Did you also join in that gamble? She asked. Heh. Feng Dong scratched his forehead and said, Those disciples who participated in the pill competition came back and spread the news of your arrival throughout the entire valley. Everyone is waiting for you to come. This bet is just everyone's expectation of you. Are there many people betting? Little Seven asked. Oh, not that many. At least those who are in seclusion did not join in. Feng Dong said. Pfff. Sima Yue spat out the tea in her mouth. Didn't this guy mean that the entire Divine Devil Valley was involved? He actually told her that it wasn't a lot. How bored are you guys? Sima Yue rubbed her forehead. This is what everyone expects from you. Feng Dong said. I bet that you will pass smoothly, so you have to work hard tomorrow. I'll try my best. Sima Yue waved her hand, indicating that they could leave. After Feng Dong left, the disciples of Divine Devil Valley rushed to the door, wanting to see what was going on, but they were stopped by the guards left behind by Feng Dong. Sima Yue was very grateful to Feng Dong for doing this. If all these people came in, she would probably break down. After a good night's rest, Feng Dong came to find her the next morning. He brought Sima Yue and Little Seven to the entrance of the Divine Devil Valley, and many outer disciples ran over. At this moment, the inner disciples were also gathered at the square. They were looking at the images in the air and waiting for Sima Yue to enter. It could be said that this was the first time in history that everyone gathered together to watch someone pass the level. But today it really happened. It's coming, it's coming. Someone pointed at the entrance of the valley and shouted. She's alone. I wonder if she'll be able to enter successfully. Definitely. I bet that she can enter, young Valley Master. Don't let me lose. He definitely won't lose. I believe in Junior Valley Master. This array formation isn't that easy to break. Otherwise, those people would have already barged in. Although the Junior Valley Master is powerful, he can't break it. Let's wait and see. Sima Yue did not know that all the disciples in the valley were watching her. After bidding farewell to Feng Dong, she entered the valley. The moment she stepped into the valley, the scenery in front of her changed immediately. Looking in from the outside, the trees here were short, but after entering, what appeared in front of them was a dense forest. Why is there a jungle here? Sima Yue looked around, trying to determine if what she saw outside was an illusion or what she saw inside was an illusion. Not a bit of panic, not bad. A white-bearded old man stroked his beard and nodded approvingly. Old Xiao, you're praising too early. It's not certain whether or not she can walk out. The middle-aged man beside old Xiao said. Little Tang, I remember that you made a bet that she wouldn't be able to come here by herself, right? Elder Xiao said to the man, the weapon refining hall's hall master Tang Yi. That's right. Tang Yi said, how about this? Let's make another bet between the two of us. If I win, you'll give me the set of armor that you refined previously. If I win, I'll give you the immeasurable pill that I refined. How about it? My set of armor is a divine-grade spirit weapon. You want to exchange it with a bottle of immeasurable pills. Tang Yi did not fall for his trick. Weren't you certain that she wouldn't be able to walk out by herself? Old Xiao said. Or do you think that she can come out by herself? Don't try to provoke me. Don't you want me to bet with you? I'll bet with you. Tang Yi said. But Old Xiao, let's make a deal. If you lose, you can't act shamelessly like before. When did I act shamelessly? Old Xiao blew his beard and glared, looking very angry. Think about it yourself. Tang Yi stuck his hands in his sleeves, ignoring his angry expression. Old Xiao took out an exquisite jade bottle and placed it on the table, saying, let's put everything out. No one can deny it. Old Xiao, you really refined the immeasurable pills. Someone said with some astonishment. Of course. Old Xiao stroked his beard and said with a smile. Old Xiao is indeed not ordinary. Hee hee. Some of the disciples below did not understand and pulled the person beside them to ask, what kind of pill is the immeasurable pill? It's actually a kind of pill that increases one's battle strength. It's just that this kind of pill is usually quite harmful to the human body. However, this immeasurable pill doesn't have any side effects and can increase one's strength by several times. Is this kind of pill very rare? Of course it's rare. A pill that increases one's strength without any side effects. If everyone had it, then wouldn't it be equivalent to having several helpers in a battle? That's true. Look at Old Xiao, his beard is about to fly up. Old Xiao is like this. It's not like you don't know. Hey, who do you think will win, Old Xiao or Hall Master Tang? Of course I hope Old Xiao wins because I also bet that the Junior Valley Master would be able to come in by himself. I said Hall Master Tang would win. That's because you bet that the Junior Valley Master wouldn't be able to come in by himself. Hehe, you guessed right. We'll know who wins and who loses, just wait and see. Hey, she seems to have found some clues. The disciples of the array hall exclaimed. Everyone hurriedly looked towards the sky and saw that she had successfully walked out of the forest. How could she be so fast? Those disciples rubbed their eyes in disbelief. Back then, they had also walked through the forest when they were at the small success stage. However, no one had left the forest as quickly as she did. That forest wasn't long to begin with. As long as she broke the array, she would be able to come out in a few minutes. The array hall master Xie Ziming said. But she broke the first array so quickly. The Junior Valley Master's array skills are probably above us. A disciple sighed. The person chosen by the blood ring is indeed different. She got first place in the alchemy competition and her array skills are also so good. At this moment, Sima Yoyue's image in everyone's heart was raised by quite a bit. Sima Yoyue, who was breaking the array, suddenly frowned. Why did she feel that the power of faith was increasing? Although it was very little, it was a dangerous period now. A slight deviation could cause the spiritual energy in her body to go berserk. She hurriedly stopped and adjusted her breathing. After making sure that the two auras didn't go berserk, she opened her eyes. Who's worshipping me for no reason? If I find out, I'll definitely beat him up. She scolded in her heart. She stood up and patted the dust off her. But before continuing to study the array, this array was much more difficult than the first array. The array patterns were hidden and complicated. It wasn't easy to find. Furthermore, it was an array within an array. If she wasn't careful, she would be trapped in the array and die. This book came from the website. Chapter 1038. Read 336. Sima Yue deduced step by step based on her observations. Liang Wuming and the people from the array hall looked at her rapidly moving fingers, and a doubt surfaced in their hearts. Did this brat not use his brain to deduce? If someone else was able to deduce this quickly, they would definitely be scolded to death. This was because every step of the deduction of an array formation had to be done carefully. Once a step was wrong, then every step would be wrong. Sima Yoyue's deduction was so fast that those who did not know her would think that she was doing it casually as if it was child's play. Only those who knew her well knew that it was because her deduction speed was several times faster than ordinary people. She could deduce several results just by looking at one of the array patterns. With her speed, can she really break the formation? Someone asked. If it were someone else, I would definitely say no. However, based on the speed at which the Junior Valley Master deciphered the first stage of the array, I feel that she will be able to decipher this array. I believe it too. The Junior Valley Master is indeed the Junior Valley Master. Indeed, he isn't someone we can compare to. There's nothing to sigh about. Everyone's talent is different. If we had her talent, we would also be recognized by the blood ring. That's right. Therefore, she is a Junior Valley Master and we are not. It's fine as long as everyone stays calm. No matter what, the Junior Valley Master is the role model in my heart. He is the goal that I am chasing after. Yes, it's mine too. Many people worshipped Sima Yue in their hearts, which made her want to curse as she was breaking the array. She felt that some power of faith had entered her body. She felt like she was about to go crazy. What the hell was this power of faith constantly increasing? Could it be that someone disliked her and wanted to use this method to deal with her? Fortunately, the power of faith didn't increase by much, so it didn't cause any turbulence in his body. Thinking about how she couldn't use her awesome coaxing ability, she couldn't help but sigh. After a long sigh, she turned her attention back to the formation and continued to deduce. Half a day later, her slightly furrowed brows finally relaxed, and a confident smile appeared on her lips. That smile made everyone in the valley feel strange, as if there was nothing in the world that could stop her. Sima Yue flew into the air and observed the surrounding terrain according to the results of her deduction. She was more certain of her guess. She took out a few array stones and threw them in 4 different directions. Then, she flew to the center and threw the array stones into the ground. Done. She clapped her hands and said with a smile. When the last array stone was inserted, The previous array completely lost its effect. She swaggered out of the array. Xie Ziming stood up from his seat in shock, and looked at Sima Yue in disbelief. Valley Lord, did I see wrongly? She only used a few array stones to break the array? Liang Wuming was also deeply shocked. He knew that Sima Yue's array formation was not bad, but he did not expect her to have such high attainments. Why did such a good seedling go to alchemy? Xie Ziming slapped his thigh and regretted not meeting her earlier. Old Man Devil was not around, so Elder Xiao was the boss of the alchemy hall. Hearing Xie Ziming's words, he was unhappy. He stood up and shouted at Xie Ziming. Old Man Xie, what do you mean? Yue won first place in the alchemy competition. Why can't she come to the alchemy hall? Forget it. Even if her master is an alchemist, it doesn't mean she's from the alchemy hall. She's a junior valley master. She's not from the array hall either. Humph, she's not from the alchemy hall either. Old Man Xie, what did you say? Elder Xiao rolled up his sleeves and was about to attack. Fortunately, he was stopped in time. Quiet down. What's with all the noise? Liang Wuming shouted. Elder Xiao, Elder Xie, you don't have to fight. Since Yue is a junior valley master, then she's from both the alchemy hall and the array hall. Ying Baichuan smiled and said. When he saw the other hall masters staring at him, he quickly added. If she knows how to tame beasts, then she's from the beast taming hall. If she knows how to refine weapons, then she's from the weapon refining hall. What he said was not wrong. Elder Xiao, who was fuming with anger, snorted and admitted this point. Xie Ziming glared at Elder Xiao and snorted coldly. The two hall masters are fighting because of this. If Yue finds out, she'll have something against you. Ying Baichuan purposely dragged out the last part of his sentence. Elder Xiao, Xiao Jingzhong and Xie Ziming's eyes flashed and they returned to their seats. If Sima Yue found out that they were fighting because of a disagreement, it would definitely affect their position in her heart. If she wasn't willing to join them, then it would be a huge loss. After all, she was a junior valley master. If she wasn't willing, they couldn't force her. Ying Baichuan waited for them to return to their seats before he sat down. He raised his head and looked at Sima Yue. He smiled and shook his head. She hadn't even entered and she had already caused such a huge commotion. It could be said that the entire Divine Devil Valley had accepted her. Actually, more than 10 years ago, when his martial uncle came back from the Yilin continent and announced that the Blood Ring had recognized its owner, everyone was against the idea of a person from the lower realm becoming their junior valley master. At that time, he even followed his martial uncle to the lower realm to look for her and compete with her. Although he had suppressed his abilities, the result still shocked him and made him start to accept such a person. After that, when she came to the primordial lands, she didn't come to the Divine Devil Valley to seek protection and let herself grow slowly. Instead, she accepted various tests outside. News of her kept spreading to the Divine Devil Valley, and the disciples in the valley were shocked again and again. Everyone accepted her bit by bit. Her timing was much better than before. But all of this was won by herself, wasn't it? Sima Yue didn't know what those people in the valley were thinking. She only felt that she was going to be confused by this array. After breaking through the second stage, there were still a few more arrays. One after another, she made a mistake and trapped herself in the array. Tang Yi saw that she was trapped in the array and smiled. He said to Xiao Jingzhong, Elder Xiao, it seems that your immeasurable pill is going to benefit me. Why are you so anxious? She just went in. Who knows, she might come out in a while. Xiao Jingzhong glanced at him and said indifferently. Look at you. You don't even have any confidence when you say that. You also think that she has no way to come out of the array, right? Tang Yi smiled proudly. Unless she gives up herself, otherwise it won't be considered a loss. Xiao Jingzhong said. Stubborn duck. You won't turn back until you hit the wall. Tang Yi said. Then I'll make you accept your loss wholeheartedly. Let's wait a little longer. Alright, all of you can go back. Get someone to guard here. If she gives up or comes out of the array, someone will inform you. Liang Wuming said. He said that because he believed that Sima Yue wouldn't be able to come out for a while. This book came from Pin and Book #network. Chapter 1039. If even Liang Wuming said so, it was enough to show how difficult the formation that trapped Sima Yue was. Everyone still had their own matters to attend to, so it was impossible for them to spend several days watching her break the array. Thus, everyone dispersed one after another, leaving only a few disciples to stand guard here. Xiao Jingzhong and Tang Yi were usually hands-off managers. Even though the valley assessment was imminent, they were still relatively free. Therefore, even though everyone else had left, they were still guarding the square. However, the array formation this time was indeed very difficult. Sima Yue had been trapped in the array formation for 3 days, and still had no clue how to solve it. Old Xiao, so many days have passed. Just admit defeat. Tang Yi said. It's not the end yet. Xiao Jingzhong said faintly. He wasn't worried that he would lose. The last moment they were talking about was the day before the assessment. At that time, if she still hadn't broken the trapping array, they would have to go and get her out. Then Xiao Jingzhong would lose. Then I'll accompany you to the end. Tang Yi said. 2 days later, Sima Yue still had not come out. Tang Yi took out a book and started reading. Xiao Jingzhong immediately fell asleep with his hands on the table. He's out. He's out. Someone shouted from below, scaring Xiao Jingzhong, who was nodding nonstop. He almost knocked his head on the table. You're out? He really came out? He jumped up from his chair and saw that Sima Yue had successfully broken the array formation. The fog around her gradually dissipated, and the path ahead slowly appeared in front of her. F***ck, it's really out. Ha ha ha, old Tang, you've lost to me this time. He put his hands on his hips and laughed. Tang Yi was still in disbelief. As he watched Sima Yue walk out of the array, he subconsciously said, Old Xiao, you couldn't have helped her cheat, right? Cheating my ass. Am I the kind of person who would help others cheat? What's more, I don't understand this array, so I can't cheat even if I wanted to. Xiao Jingzhong said. How about it, old Tang? You should give me that set of armor now, right? Tang Yi took out a set of armor and threw it to him. Although there was reluctance on his face, he did not deny it. Xiao Jingzhong put away the armor with satisfaction and said with a smile, I'm going to the casino to get my prize. Like I said, there's no problem if you bet with me. Ha ha. Tang Yi looked at his back as he left. He couldn't help but roll his eyes and spit out 2 words. Show off. After saying that, he raised his head and looked at Sima Yue, wondering what kind of pervert old man devil had brought back to the Divine Devil Valley. Sima Yue left the array formation. Feng Dong and Little Seven were waiting for her outside. You're amazing. Little Seven pounced over. Feng Dong said that those arrays are very powerful. Not many people can pass through them. You actually came over yourself. It is indeed a little difficult, but I was lucky to be able to come here. Sima Yue said with a smile. What luck? Little Seven raised her head and asked. I've seen some similar arrays before. Although there are some changes, they're still the same. Sima Yue said. She felt that the Divine Devil Valley and the 100 Changing Doors had a deep relationship. If not, why were there so many arrays in the valley that were recorded in that book and now lost? Junior Valley Master, please follow me. Feng Dong looked at Sima Yue as if he was looking at a god. Especially since he had won the bet, he could go to the casino to get his money. He brought Sima Yue to the Sect's Great Hall. When he entered, it was filled with people. He had never seen such a scene before. Liang Wuming sat on the main seat. There was an empty seat beside him. It should be Old Man Devils. Below Liang Wuming sat Ying Bai Chuan. There was an empty seat below Old Man Devil. It was prepared for her. On both sides below were various elders, hall masters, vice hall masters and young hall masters. It was a powerful lineup. Valley Lord, the junior Valley Master is here. Sima Yue went forward and bowed to Liang Wuming. Yue greets the Valley Lord. You may rise. Liang Wuming looked at Sima Yue with satisfaction. Thank you, Valley Lord. Sima Yue stood up. Take a seat first. Liang Wuming pointed to her seat and said. Sima Yue went to her seat and sat down. Although she was facing so many elders, she didn't have stage fright at all. The hall masters nodded slightly, as expected of the junior Valley Master chosen by the Blood Ring. Yue, let me introduce you. This is the Alchemy Hall Master Xiao Jingzhong, Elder Xiao. This is the Weapon Forging Hall Master Tang Yi, Elder Tang. This is the Array Hall Master Xie Ziming, Elder Xie. The Beast Taming Hall Master Yu Shibo, Elder Yu. The Spirit Seeking Hall Master Du Yanghui, Elder He. Poison Master Hall Master Do Bai, Elder Do. This is the Great Elder. Liang Wu Ming introduced them. Sima Yue bowed to them one by one and remembered each and every one of them. Yue, who did you learn your arrays from? Xiao Jingzhong asked. My master is Feng Zhixing. Sima Yue replied. Feng Zhixing? Feng clan? Xie Ziming said. People from an array family. Not bad, not bad. Sima Yue didn't know if he was praising her for learning well, or praising her for being able to learn from the Feng clan. She could only smile without saying anything. Now that Yue is here, let's start discussing the assessment. Sima Yue didn't think that she would participate in such an important meeting the moment she came back. She didn't know anything about the assessment at all, so she just listened to them from the side, trying to get some useful information from their words. The meeting lasted for half a day. When it was over, Sima Yue felt a little dizzy from all the information she was looking at. Everyone left the main hall. Sima Yue walked behind them, thinking about what they said just now. Ying Baichuan came in front of her and smiled. Do you feel that the amount of information is a little too much? Sima Yue nodded. I just came and don't know anything about the valley, so there are some things that I don't understand. No problem, I'll bring you to Marshal Uncle's courtyard and tell you about the valley. Ying Baichuan said. Okay, thank you, Senior. Let's go. Sima Yue followed Ying Baichuan to Old Man Devil's courtyard. Along the way, many disciples were excited when they saw Sima Yue. However, when they saw Ying Baichuan in front of them, they didn't dare to go forward. They seemed to be afraid of you. Sima Yue nodded at the disciples who greeted her. She saw the way they looked at Ying Baichuan and said curiously. Is that so? Ying Baichuan didn't think so. Yes, look at them. They don't dare to be presumptuous when they see you. Sima Yue looked at the people who were chatting and laughing together before, but became obedient when they saw Ying Baichuan. Maybe, Ying Baichuan said. These guys are quite naughty. You have to restrain them. If you don't, they'll turn the sky upside down. Sima Yue smiled. She was afraid that it was because he was always like a boss. Chapter 1040. Read 336. We're here. This is Uncle Master's courtyard. Ying Baichuan brought Sima Yue to a courtyard and pushed the door open. Sima Yue looked at the mess inside and couldn't help but purse her lips. Ying Baichuan looked at Sima Yue's disdainful face and said, Uncle Master doesn't like people entering his courtyard, and even more so, he doesn't like people touching his things. In his words, he won't be able to find what he wants when the time comes. But he doesn't like to tidy up himself. Sima Yue shrugged. That's true, Ying Baichuan said. Uncle Master doesn't like to tidy up his house. But he's not here now. If you can't stand it, you can tidy it up. Sima Yue took a deep breath and began to clean the courtyard quickly. Ying Baichuan watched from the side without any intention of helping. Aren't you going to help? Sima Yue raised her head and asked. You can touch Uncle Master's things, but that doesn't mean we can too. Ying Baichuan said. He won't scold you, but that doesn't mean he won't scold us. Sima Yue was speechless and said, That's a good excuse. You can think of it that way. Ying Baichuan said. Then I'll get someone to help. No one will dare to come. Ying Baichuan said. Other than you and Wu Lingyu, no one else can touch the things here, even if he's not here. All right. Sima Yue knew that her master had a weird temper, and called out all her beasts to help her clean up. There was strength in numbers. Very quickly, the messy courtyard was cleaned up. This room is Uncle Master's, and this is Wu Lingyu's. Over there is the alchemy room. Ying Baichuan pointed to the various rooms. Uncle Master prepared this room for you. Sima Yue pushed open her room. It was a suite with only a bed and a set of tables and chairs. There was a space ring on the table. There are some necessities in the ring, Ying Baichuan said. Sima Yue picked up the space ring and scanned through it. There were many useful and useless things inside. She was probably afraid that they would get dirty if she took them out. These things were left behind by Master? Yes, as far as I know, it has been prepared for a long time. It should have been prepared not long after I accepted you as my disciple. I just didn't expect you to take so long to come over. Ing Baichuan was quite emotional. He rarely saw Old Man Devil care about anyone or anything, other than making pills and saving Wu Lingyu. However, ever since he had returned from the Yilin continent, he had been full of praises for this disciple of his. He had even mumbled that he would prepare a house for her. However, even after he had left, she still hadn't come. Sima Yue held the space ring in her hand and felt warm inside. Although she recognized this master in a hurry and didn't have much contact with him, she remembered all the good he had done for her. Do you want to decorate the room first? Ing Baichuan asked. I'll arrange it later. Sima Yue said. Senior brothering, can you tell me about the situation in the valley first? All right. They went to the pavilion in the courtyard and sat down. Ing Baichuan told her a lot about the Divine Devil Valley before leaving. You quickly look at my new form. Little Roar said excitedly to Sima Yue. Sima Yue used her thoughts and called Little Roar out from the spirit pagoda. Seeing the little kitten in front of her, she was a little stunned. Little Roar saw Sima Yue in a daze and flew one round in the air, saying, "How is it, Yu? My new form isn't bad, right? You really changed your appearance." Sima Yue pinched his little ears. The iconic long ears from before were gone. Of course. Little Roar said proudly. You don't always put me in the spirit pagoda in the future. All right. Now follow me to decorate the room. Sima Yue carried Little Roar and brought him into the house. Yu, do you remember when we went to the Capital Institute? I was the one who accompanied you to decorate the room? Little Roar lay on the table and squinted his eyes at her. Sima Yue's hand that was wiping the table paused as she recalled the days when she went to the Capital Institute. At that time, she had just arrived at the Yilin continent and did not have the memories of her past life. She thought that it was her first time in this world and felt unfamiliar. The spirit contract made her very reliant on him. Thinking about those days, it had been so long. Thinking about it now, it felt like a lifetime had passed. Yu, how long are we going to stay here? Little Roar used his claws to scratch the table and asked. I don't know. It shouldn't be too long. Sima Yue said. But it depends on the situation. But no matter where we are, we have to raise our strength first. Recently, she had been too busy and did not have much time to cultivate. If not for the blood essence that Wu Lamai gave her and the essence that Little Seven gave her, her strength would not be at the level of a divine emperor. It was a pity that when she came this time, Shui Qingman and Wu Lamai only stayed in the Divine Devil Valley for a few days before returning to the Ninth Star Ocean. It was said that something happened in the Ninth Star Ocean, and they needed Wu Lamai to go back to resolve it. If even Wu La Li and Wu La Lu could not resolve it, it should be more serious. When she heard about it from Ing Baichuan, she was worried that Shui Qingman did not have enough pills. When Ing Baichuan said that the Divine Devil Valley had refined more pills for them, she was relieved. Yu, I also think that it's time for you to stop and rest, Little Roar said with a little heartache. You used to work very hard, but you weren't as tired as you are now. After I settle these things, I will rest. Sima Yue said. How can I rest when I haven't avenged my clan? Now that the sect has been established, everything is on the right track. Revenge is only a matter of time. Little Roar said. You still have so many people with you. Don't force yourself. Sima Yue walked over and hugged Little Roar. She ruffled his fur and said, I understand. I'm not forcing myself. Haven't the sex matters been handed over to Feng, and the rest? But you still haven't rested. Little Roar said. You're still busy. Although you don't care much about the sex matters, you're paving the way for them. This makes you very busy and tired. It's good that we're on the right track now, Sima Yue said. You have to believe that everyone hopes that you can rest well, Little Roar said. They were in the spirit pagoda and saw that she was always busy. They all felt heartache for her. I know. Thank you all for always being with me, Sima Yue said gratefully. We will always be with you. Little Roar rubbed against her chest, full of dependence. All right, let's tidy this place up first. Then we'll go see the Valley Lord, Sima Yue said. Once she was done with the matters at hand, she really needed to have a good rest and cultivate properly. This book came from the Book and Book hashtag. Chapter 1041. In 1 second she remembered, Love Divided by You? Read book web no pop-up window, free to read. Liang Wu-ming was resting in his room when he felt Sima Yue enter his courtyard. Come in. Liang Wu-ming waved his hand and the door opened. Sima Yue walked in and saw Liang Wu-ming sitting on the main seat with a few hall masters sitting below. Valley Lord Hall Masters. Sima Yue bowed to Liang Wu-ming and the other hall masters. Although she had the title of Junior Valley Master, and her status wasn't low, she still respected those elders from a psychological point of view. Those hall masters saw that Sima Yue was so humble and didn't put on the airs of a young genius, so they gave her quite a few points in their hearts. Yue, we are talking about your matters. Sit down and listen. Liang Wu-ming said. Talking about my matters? Sima Yue sat down on the seat that Liang Wu-ming pointed out to her, and looked at everyone curiously. Do you know that when you were breaking through, all the disciples in the valley were watching? Liang Wu-ming said. All watching. Sima Yue looked at him strangely. What did he mean by all watching? You know that all the disciples in the valley participated in that bet, so we used some methods to send the video of you breaking through. Everyone was watching in the plaza. Liang Wu-ming said. Then what? Sima Yue asked. Then Elder Xiao and Elder Tang quarreled, and wanted you to join their branch. Liang Wu-ming said. Sima Yue's eyes widened. There was such a thing? Liang Wu-ming looked at her expression and said, That's not all. There's more? Sima Yue was even more surprised. Because you were stone gambling in Cloud Sea City. They knew that you were a seeker spirit master. Liang Wu-ming said. So Elder Du also hoped that you could join him. Sima Yue looked at Du Yanghui. He smiled and nodded at her. There's more. There's more? Sima Yue turned to look at Liang Wu-ming. Everyone knows that you are a beast tamer, so? Are you willing to join the beast tamer hall? Yu Shibwa smiled and asked. Also, we know that you are a pharmacist from the academy, so? Sima Yue felt a headache coming on as she pursed her lips and asked. Is there anything else? The Poison Master Hall also wishes to invite you over. I heard that you are quite good at using poison. Liang Wu-ming said. Yes, young Valley Master. Are you willing to come to my Poison Master Hall? Doubai looked at her with a smile. Sima Yue hesitated. How did they know about her identity? It's a headache, isn't it? Liang Wu-ming said. Right now, other than the weapon refining hall, all the other hall masters have the intention to invite you over. Sima Yue rubbed her forehead. This really gave her a headache. She had just arrived in the valley, and it would not be good to offend anyone. That I should listen to my master. Since my master is not here, I don't think I need to choose which hall to join, right? She looked at Ying Bai Chuan. Why didn't this guy tell her that she would encounter such a situation? Ying Bai Chuan looked at her calmly, and did not say anything else. Sima Yue blinked her eyes, not understanding what he meant. You really don't plan to join any of them? Liang Wu-ming asked again. Sima Yue looked around and nodded with certainty, saying, Let's wait for Master to come back before we talk about this. How is it? I told you that she wouldn't choose any of them, right? Liang Wu-ming looked around and smiled. Looks like we can only implement our agreement. Elder Xiao said. What agreement? Sima Yue was confused. We were just saying that you definitely wouldn't choose any of the halls. Ying Bai Chuan said. Then why are you asking me? We just want to see if you are willing to join. Liang Wu-ming said. Now we are very sure of your thoughts. So now everyone is happy, Liang Wu-ming said. As the Junior Valley Master of the Mystic Valley, you don't need to join any of the halls, but you can learn from any of them. Really? Sima Yue felt that this change was a little too fast. Yes, Liang Wu-ming said. Since you just arrived in the valley, although Bai Chuan told you about the situation in the valley, you shouldn't be very familiar with it. So in the coming days, you should familiarize yourself with the valley and follow Baichuan to follow the assessment. Once you are familiar with the situation, you can follow the other halls to learn from them. Really? Of course, Liang Wuming said. Your master isn't in the valley, your senior isn't here either. So as your elders, we naturally have to make arrangements for you. Thank you, senior uncle. Sima Yue looked at Liang Wuming gratefully. So junior valley master, after the assessment, you have to come to the alchemy hall more often. Your master used to stay in the alchemy hall often. Elder Xiao said. I will. Sima Yue smiled and nodded. You have to come to the array hall often too. Your talent in arrays is unparalleled. I believe you will become the most powerful array master here. Xie Ziming said. Thank you for the hall master's praise. Sima Yue nodded. I will continue to work hard. Don't forget to come to our place. Doubai said. You will find out that our place is better than the academy. I am already looking forward to it. Sima Yue said. Old Man Devil and Wu Lingyu both said that the Divine Devil Valley was a suitable place for her to learn. If it wasn't because she was in the outer regions and coincidentally encountered the recruitment of the Heavenly Sect, she would have come here to learn. Baichuan, you will take care of her for the next few days. Liang Wuming said. Yes, master. I will bring junior brother to familiarize himself with this place as soon as possible. Ing Baichuan replied. There are still a few days before the assessment. Go back and get your disciples to practice. Liang Wuming said. All right, you can go and do your own things. Junior Valley Master, don't forget to come to our place. Xiao Jingzhong turned around to confirm with Sima Yue before he left. I will. Sima Yue smiled at him before he turned around and left. After they left, only Liang Wuming and Ing Baichuan were left in the house. Sima Yue let out a long sigh of relief. Senior brother Ing, you should have told me this earlier. Sima Yue turned around and looked at Ing Baichuan speechlessly. Master and the others didn't allow me to say. Ing Baichuan shrugged helplessly. Let's go, I will bring you to visit the Divine Devil Valley. Sima Yue looked at Liang Wuming and saw that he didn't say anything. She followed Ing Baichuan out and found Little Seven to visit the famous Divine Devil Valley. Chapter 1042. Read 336. The Divine Devil Valley was huge, much bigger than what she had imagined. It would take at least a few days to walk one round. Ing Baichuan brought her to each of the halls. When they heard that they were going to visit, those people were extremely excited. They ignored Ing Baichuan's cold aura and gathered in groups of 3 to 5, wanting to catch a glimpse of Sima Yue. They were all professional masters. Although they were usually arrogant and lofty, in front of people with strength, they still sincerely admired them. Towards a genius like Sima Yue, they were even more in awe. Sima Yue bumped into an acquaintance in the Pill Refinery Hall, which reminded her of her family in the Restless Continent. Uni greets Junior Valley Master. Uni bowed to Sima Yue. They had not seen each other for more than 10 years, but he was still the same. He had not changed at all. Uni, you're here too. Sima Yue was happy to see him. She smiled and walked up to him. Uni is a disciple of the Alchemy Hall Elder. Ing Baichuan said. Uni, have you been back to the Restless Continent all these years? Sima Yue asked. I went back once 2 years ago. Uni said. Those people in your family are doing well. They have already settled down in the Restless Continent. You don't have to worry about them. That's good. Sima Yue relaxed. It wasn't that she hadn't thought of bringing her clansmen up, but their strength was limited. Perhaps they were a strong force below, but when they came up here, they could only be oppressed and weak. After much consideration, she decided to let them continue to live in the lower continents. If someone's strength increased and came to this continent, she would help them. I went to see them before I came up. Oh, they even asked about your situation. Uni pointed to the pavilion in the courtyard. They chatted as they entered the pavilion. It's a good thing that news of you will come to the valley from time to time, or else I wouldn't know how to answer their questions. Thank you, Uni. Sima Yue said gratefully. Junior Valley Master, you are too polite. This is what I should do. And I didn't do anything, I just told them some things about you. Yuni said with a smile. How are Yu Qing and the others? Sima Yue asked. They're all fine. They just miss you guys. Yuni said. Their strength has grown quite fast these past few years. I think it won't be long before someone comes up again. Really? Sima Yue was happy for them. If they could come up, their future would be better. They're all very talented, Yuni said. I know. Sima Yue nodded. She had given them the tendon and marrow cleansing elixir before. Their innate talents had been altered, and they were naturally much more powerful than others. Let me know if you want to go back in the future. Sima Yue said. Is there anything you want me to do? Yuni asked. Yes, if you want to go down again, help me bring some things down in a few words, Sima Yue said. Okay. As they still had to visit the other halls, Sima Yue and Yuni didn't chat for long before they got up and left. After a day, Sima Yue and the other two only visited a few halls. As Ying Baichuan still had to deal with the assessment, they could only push the visiting matters to the back. Ying Baichuan had already helped Liang Wuming to deal with the matters in the valley. This wasn't the first time the assessment was held. With past experience, it wasn't difficult to deal with it now. It was just that there were some trivial matters that needed to be dealt with. Sima Yue followed Ying Baichuan and gave a few suggestions when he was dealing with matters. Those suggestions made Ying Baichuan and the supervisor of the assessment light up. After the supervisor left, Ying Baichuan looked at Sima Yue and smiled as he shook his head. I really should let Master know how capable you are in managing matters. You should be more in charge of the matters in the valley. I don't like to do those things, Sima Yue said. Senior brother Ying won't sell me out, right? Ying Baichuan stared at Sima Yue for a while and said, If I tell you, you'll probably run away. Sima Yue smiled. Senior brother knows me well. If Liang Wuming really let her manage the matters in the valley, she would probably really leave. She didn't like to deal with these matters. Although it made people feel that she had more power, she just didn't like it. If she had the energy, she would rather go back and manage her own sect. But you're the junior valley master. In the future, you and I will have to manage the matters in the valley together sooner or later, Ying Baichuan said. You won't throw this burden to me alone, right? Senior brother Ying, what's your keepsake? Sima Yue didn't answer but asked instead. Ying Baichuan showed her the white jade thumb ring on his hand. It looks the same as my thumb ring, but the color is different. Sima Yue looked at his thumb ring, then looked at her thumb ring and said, No, mine is different from yours. Ying Baichuan said, My thumb ring isn't as evil as yours. Evil? Sima Yue raised her left hand and stared at the blood thumb ring. The blood red color indeed made people feel that it was a little evil. How is this thing evil? I heard from Master that some of the people chosen by the blood thumb ring had gone mad. Ying Baichuan said. But looking at you, you don't look like you've gone mad. Gone mad? How did he go berserk? Sima Yue was a little shocked. She thought of the time when the blood thumb ring recognized her. She had hallucinations. A beauty and a skeleton. Those people always said that they would hallucinate. Sometimes they couldn't even differentiate between the hallucinations and reality, causing them to go mad. Ying Baichuan said. So evil. Little Seven exclaimed. You won't become like that, right? I don't feel it. Do you feel that I'm abnormal? Sima Yue asked. Little Seven thought about it seriously and said, Not yet. Junior brother's mental strength is strong. It's not that easy to control. Ying Baichuan said. If you think about it, the one who has the blood thumb ring is the real junior valley master of the Divine Devil Valley. He will also be the future valley lord. The blood thumb ring has such a high status? Yes, it's said that the blood thumb ring is connected to a secret of the Divine Devil Valley. But for many years, no one has really gotten the blood thumb ring's recognition, and no one has been able to control it. So for so many years, no one knows what the blood thumb ring's secret is. Ying Baichuan said. Maybe you can help us unravel this secret. Senior brother Ying, when you say it like that, it makes me feel pressured. Sima Yue said embarrassedly. She looked at the blood thumb ring in her hand, and felt that the blood-red color seemed to have come alive. It emitted a faint aura as if it wanted to swallow her. This book came from Pin and Book #web. Chapter 1043. Her words made Zhang Hao speechless. She still needed Little Black to guard this place. How could she leave the square? But if she wanted to cook, wouldn't she have to do it here? You guys better think of a way quickly, Sima Yue said. These 2 days are very short, I won't be able to do anything by then. Wu Man raised her eyebrows. She didn't sound worried, which meant that there was a chance. However, she looked at Zhang Hao and the others and fanned herself without saying anything. Some people just needed to be cheated more. Luo Qi and the others didn't have any objections to this. They just frowned and didn't say anything. Alright, she can't leave this place now, so why do you care about her? Let's continue to think of other ways. Meng Sha said. Humph. Zhang Hao snorted discontentedly. You're just giving in to her. He's just a child. She's the only one who can deal with this thing now. If we don't accommodate her, don't tell me that will provoke her and she'll wash her hands of us again? Meng Sha retorted. Alright, quickly think of a way. Luo Qi said unhappily. This Zhang Hao was really regressing the more he lived. He actually had this kind of unclear situation. What else can we do? We can only go back and flip through the ancient books in the city to see if we can find a way to seal it. Zhang Hao said. That's the only way. However, there are so many ancient books. We need more people. Wu Man said. Siyu was eating at the side and seeing Wu Man so worried that the smile on her face disappeared, she asked. Ant-Man, the 4 of you are experts among experts. How can you not seal this thing? I can't. Wu Man directly spoke the truth. She didn't feel that it was shameful. Even you guys can't do it? Not only Siyu, but the other members of the C family were also surprised. Because the forbidden area was related to the safety of the city, not many people knew about it. If it wasn't for this incident, many people probably wouldn't have known that such a dangerous thing was hidden inside. As the head of the family, Sikong naturally knew about this. However, he had never told Siyu and the others about it. Hence, when he saw that Wu Man and the others couldn't do anything about it, he was shocked. That's right. Otherwise, how could something like this happen? Wu Man thought that in the end, she might still need Sima Yue's help. She casually set up a barrier and wrapped it around the square, blocking the vision and divine senses of the people outside. It was easy to isolate people's vision with a barrier, but it was difficult to isolate people's divine sense. Sima Yue watched as Wu Man casually waved her hand and set up such a barrier. It seemed that the 4 stewards were quite capable. Thinking about it, how could an ordinary person become the manager of this big ghost city? However, Wu Man's actions gave her a bad premonition. You should have heard some rumors about this thing. This is a power. Because it has existed for so long, it has already gained sentience. Wu Man explained. Once this thing comes out, Ghost City will cease to exist, so we have been sealing it here. Since it was sealed in the past, why don't we seal it again now? You're all so powerful, why can't you seal this thing? Siyu said. We can't seal it. Wu Man said. This thing is different from others. It needs a special method to seal it. Other seals are useless. It won't take long for it to break through again. And only the City Lord knows how to do that. How do you know it's useless? Previously, there was a time when the City Lord did not come back in time to repair the seal, and that thing almost came out. The 4 of us worked together to set up a seal, and we barely managed to trap it for a day or 2. Luckily, the City Lord came back in time, so it was not as dangerous as this time. Wu Man said. So the City Lord is not in the city now, Sima Yue said. Humph. Zhang Hao snorted again. His meaning was obvious. If the City Lord was here, would it be your turn to strut around here? Sima Yue was not angry. No matter how high you raised your chin now, didn't you still have to look at her face? I see. The City Lord is not here, so you can't do anything about it. Since that's the case, why are you so unhappy with my little sister? Your face is so dark. You don't want my little sister to help, right? Siyu said sarcastically. What nonsense are you talking about? Sikong, is this how you teach your daughter? Zhang Hao was mocked and shouted angrily. What's wrong with my daughter? I think she's pretty good. Her words are what I think. No wonder they say that a daughter is a father's intimate little jacket. Sikong sighed. Sima Yue looked at the Si family. Their reactions were very calm. It seemed like they often saw this scene. That meant that the Si family's old man had always been like this? All right. Look at the situation now. Why are you still quarreling? Wu Man didn't know if she was scolding Zhang Hao or Sikong. Sima Yue felt that it was highly possible that she was scolding the former. Didn't you say that you wanted to find a way? Luo Qi said. Let's go find someone to help us. We shouldn't let too many people know about this. Meng Sha said. Since you know about it, then come help. I'm not going. Sima Yue said. I'm afraid that if I know too much, I'll be silenced. I'll wait for you here with Little Black. Find a way quickly and come back quickly to solve this. I still have my own things to do. Father, don't we have things to settle at home too? Since there's nothing else here, let's go back first. Si family's eldest brother said. It's time to go back. Wu Man, if there's anything, let me know. If we can help, we'll do our best. Sikong finished speaking and took out a tissue to wipe his mouth. He called his children and left. Father, I'll stay behind to accompany little sister. Siyu said. Don't cause trouble. Sikong knew that Siyu would be fine with Wu Man here. After reminding her, he looked at Wu Man. Wu Man waved her hand, and the spirit barrier disappeared instantly. This speed made Sima Yue envious. After Sikong left with the Si family's brothers, the other onlookers also left. Those who were unwilling to leave were chased away by the patrol team. Wu Man and the others left after reminding Siyu and Siyu. Now that time was tight, they didn't dare to delay. With Sima Yue here, they had to quickly flip through the ancient books to see if they could find a way. Because they didn't have enough manpower, they had no choice but to transfer the previous guards over. This was because other than the city lord and the 4 stewards, these guards were the ones who knew the most about the things in the forbidden area. They hoped that they could find a good solution in these 2 days. This book came from Chapter 1044. Master, I won't be able to refine weapons in the future, right? A female disciple woke up and cried out involuntarily when she saw her crippled left hand. And then don't be afraid. We can't explain it clearly now. Don't worry, the valley will heal you. Someone comforted her. Master, my hand. An An's cry woke up the unconscious disciple beside her. After he woke up, he also cried out. My thumb. How could this be? The continuous screams caused the entire courtyard to become chaotic. Everyone was scared silly by their own situation. Alright, Elder Xiao, you guys go and treat them first. Let them calm down quickly. I'll go take a look at the poison ones. Doubai had a headache from all the shouting. Sima Yue followed Xiao Jingzhong to check on those injured people. They had already given them healing pills, but because their injuries were too serious, they still looked very serious. The disciples of the medical hall were bandaging their wounds. When they saw Xiao Jingzhong coming over, they retreated to the side. How are they doing? Several elders of the refining hall rushed over. When they saw their disciples injured like this, they were so angry that they jumped up. Who did this? Elder, they are from the Cloud Cave. Yes, it was the Cloud Cave that attacked us. The ones who attacked us were not from the Cloud Cave. They were from other sections. The ones who attacked you were not from the Cloud Cave? Which sect is he from? The people who attacked us were from the Kong Valley. Kong Valley? Are you sure? Sima Yue asked. I'm sure that the person who killed us was wearing Kong Valley's clothes. That person thought for a moment and said with certainty. Wearing Kong Valley's clothes doesn't mean you're from Kong Valley. Sima Yue said. I believe that the people from Kong Valley won't do anything to us. Why? Junior Valley Master, are you so sure? I know Kong Sengyi and have interacted with Kong Valley before. They won't do anything to Divine Devil Valley. Sima Yue said confidently. Wearing Kong Valley's clothes doesn't mean you're from Kong Valley. Xiao Jingzhong said. Take care of your bodies first. We will investigate the other things clearly. As the situation was too serious, Xiao Jingzhong stayed while Sima Yuyue and Little Seven left. Yu, do you believe that the people from Kong Valley will attack Divine Devil Valley? Little Seven saw Sima Yuyue, who was deep in her thoughts. I believe it's not Kong Valley to do it. Sima Yuyu said. Xiangyi knows that I am the young Valley Master of the Divine Devil Valley, and knows about our relationship. They will not attack the Divine Devil Valley suddenly. What if they were coerced? 7 to Little Yoyuet to Yuyu. Cloud Yunt T Yuyu T. T Yudo Cloud 2. If Kong Valley's people are controlled by them, then it's possible. You're right. Sima Yuyue said. Wasn't Xiangyi in Heartbreak Valley? Let's ask Feng, or if there's any situation. Sima Yuyue returned to the courtyard and took out a mother-son stone. She inserted her spirit energy into it and waited for a response. It was different from the usual mother-son stone. This mother-son stone was only the size of an egg. It was round and transparent, and could be contacted from a long distance. Sister, what's wrong? Why did you suddenly contact me? Shimin Feng's voice came from the mother-son stone. Feng, is Xiangyi still in Heartbreak Valley? Sima Yue asked directly. No, she went back 2 days ago. She said something happened in Kong Valley. Shimin Feng said. Why, what happened? There's something I need to tell you. Sima Yue told him about the attack on Divine Devil Valley's disciples. Kong Valley's people won't be involved in this. Shimin Feng said confidently after listening. I thought so too. Sima Yue said. But you said Xiangyi said that something happened in Kong Valley. How's the situation over there? Shimin Feng asked. Things are a little messy. It will be the day of the assessment in a few days. The disciples outside will be coming back one after another. Now that senior brother Ing has sent the disciples outside the valley to receive them. I hope nothing will happen. Sima Yuyu said. Help me check what's going on with Kong Valley. Okay. Yuyu, it seems like someone was sent back. Little Seven said. Sima Yuyu looked in the direction that Little Seven was pointing at, and saw a few injured people being sent back. Feng, I'll go take a look first. Contact me if you have any news. Okay. Let's go take a look over there. Sima Yuyue kept the mother-son stone and rushed towards that direction with Little Seven. As expected, those people were disciples who were on their way back. They were killed on their way back. Luckily, they met the disciples who went to rescue them, so the situation wasn't too serious. Sima Yue left after seeing the situation over there. She couldn't be of much help over there. Yuyu, they said that the people who attacked them were from another sect. Little Seven said. I heard it. Sima Yue said. Things have become complicated. If those people weren't impersonators, then there's really someone who's targeting Divine Devil Valley. But who is it? Little Seven imitated Sima Yue, and used her right hand to support her chin, looking like she was deep in thought. Sima Yue regained her senses, and was amused by her look. She laughed out loud and used her hand to ruffle her hair, saying, We don't know much about these things. There's no use thinking about it here. Let's see how senior uncle and the rest deal with it. There were more incidents of disciples being attacked in the next 2 days. Luckily, the valley had already sent people out to receive them. The situation wasn't too serious. But the original assessment time was postponed indefinitely. According to Liang Wuming, the situation wasn't stable now. They would wait until everything was stable before the assessment. Everyone in the valley was busy dealing with the incident of the disciples being attacked. Sima Yue also understood quite a bit of the situation. But the more she knew, the more she felt that this matter was fishy. Just like that, all the hall masters in the valley had a meeting. She sat quietly at the side. After hearing the news from the hall master who was in charge of information, she frowned slightly. But she didn't say anything and just listened quietly. Liang Wuming noticed her expression and asked when no one spoke. Yue, do you have any thoughts? Sima Yue didn't expect him to call her. She thought for a while and said what she thought. Valley Lord, I feel that something isn't right. Oh. What do you think is wrong? Liang Wuming asked. Chapter 1045. Read 336. Sima Yue sorted out her thoughts and said, I've been in the valley for the past 2 days. Although we're not on good terms with Cloud Cave and some other forces, this has never happened before. Liang Wuming nodded. Indeed. If that's the case, why would so many forces attack us all of a sudden? Sima Yue said. And we didn't hear anything before this, it doesn't make sense. It's indeed a bit sudden. Doubai said. But it could also be their doing in the dark. If they wanted to send so many people to the Divine Devil Valley, we wouldn't have missed it. Ingbai Chuan said unless. Unless what? Unless someone from Divine Devil Valley communicates with him. Sima Yue said. Only in this way can he catch us off guard. You're saying that there's a mole in our valley? Xiao Jingzhong shouted. Don't let me know who it is or I'll definitely. Old Xiao, don't be so agitated. We haven't confirmed anything yet, Tang Yi said. This matter indeed needs to be investigated. Liang Wuming said. If someone really betrayed us, we must investigate thoroughly. Also, try to heal the injured disciples as much as possible. For those who haven't returned yet, tell them not to return for the time being. Yes, Valley Lord. Also, do you have anything else to say? Yes. After the meeting, Sima Yue was asked to stay. Yue, the valley has been rather busy recently. I have a mission for you. Liang Wuming said. What? Sima Yue blinked. You were the one who brought up the matter with the mole, so I want you to investigate this. Liang Wuming said. You want me to go? Sima Yue pointed at herself. There are so many people in the valley, but I don't know many of them. Isn't it like looking for a needle in a haystack? Yes. Liang Wuming nodded. If that was the case, why did he ask her to investigate? Don't be surprised. I asked you to investigate because I want to confuse others. The person who will truly investigate will be someone else. Liang Wuming said. Valley Lord, do you have anyone in mind? Sima Yue asked. To be honest, no. Liang Wuming said. But to be able to do this, his position in the valley must not be low. So if you ask me to investigate on the surface, that person will think that I'm not harmful to them and let his guard down. Sima Yue said. That's a good idea. But what? Liang Wuming raised his eyebrows. I have a better idea, Sima Yue said. What method? Liang Wuming asked. The oldest but most effective way. Sima Yue said. Keep an eye on everyone in the valley. Monitor everyone? There were so many people in the Divine Devil Valley. It wasn't easy to monitor everyone. Furthermore, it would alert the enemy. Liang Wuming said. How many people know about the scarlet bees that Master brought back? Sima Yue asked. Scarlet bees? I don't think many people know about it. Liang Wuming said. Your master treasured it a lot when he came back. Although everyone knows that he has scarlet bees, not many people have seen them. Are you thinking of using scarlet bees to monitor those people? Yes. Sima Yue said. Scarlet bees are very good at finding out information. That's fine too. Liang Wuming said. If you find out anything, let me know. I will. If you need anything, let Bai Chuan help you. I got it. Sima Yue left the meeting room and Little Seven came in from the other side of the courtyard. You're done with the meeting? Little Seven ran over and asked. Let's go. I need your help with something. You need my help. Little Seven was interested. What is it? You'll know later. Sima Yue brought Little Seven to a mountain peak. Just as she thought, Little Seven had a high sensitivity towards plants. You want me to help you sense these plants? Little Seven asked. Not only that, I want you to help me cover the bees. Sima Yue said. The scent of the plants and the bees correspond, so even those who are strong won't be able to find out easily. Oh. Little Seven nodded. No problem, just leave this to me. Then I'll release the bees. Sima Yue released tens of thousands of scarlet bees, and let them fly to every corner of the Divine Devil Valley. Many scarlet bees hid under the leaves, with the scent of the plants as cover. It was hard to find them if one didn't look carefully. This was the first time she sent out so many scarlet bees to find out information, and it was in such a crowded place. If it wasn't for little Seven's cover, they would have been found out easily by those strong people. After everything was set up, the two of them returned to the courtyard. The following days were just waiting. The injured were waiting for their condition to improve, the Divine Devil Valley was waiting for news, and Sima Yue was waiting for the traders to take action. But no one was injured, and no one contacted the outside world. It was as if this matter had suddenly stopped. But she didn't think that this matter would end just like that. That night, Sima Yue was reading a book under the light when she suddenly received the news from the Scarlet Queen Bee. Little Seven then jumped down from the bed. Yu, there's movement. Little Seven said. After waiting for so long, there's finally movement. Sima Yue kept the book. Let's contact senior uncle and senior brother first. Then we'll go and see the trader's true face. Alright. In the dark night, a black figure quickly passed through the valley and arrived at the peak of a mountain. There, someone was waiting for him. 17th Elder. You've made me wait for a long time. A feminine voice rang in the night, giving people goosebumps. Why are you here? 17th Elder's face darkened. The valley is already suspecting that someone has betrayed the Divine Devil Valley, and is investigating. If you come to find me now, it'll be easy for me to be exposed. I know, but you haven't given us any news, so I have no choice. That person said. I don't have anything to tell you recently. Now that they're on guard, it won't be easy to do anything. 17th Elder said. Is that so? But we've received another piece of news, saying that you've already brought all the disciples back. Such an important piece of news. Why didn't you tell us? What? 17th Elder was shocked. Impossible. I'm in charge of contacting those disciples. I didn't even give the order for them to come back. How could? You really don't know. I really don't know. If not, why would I dare to hide it from you? Your family members are in our hands. I don't think you dare to not listen to Master. In that case, there's only one reason. What's the reason? 17th Elder saw him staring at him, and a bad premonition arose in his heart. This book came from the Book in Book #net. Chapter 1046. PFFF. The 17th Elder lowered his head in disbelief and looked at the arm that had pierced through his chest. Why? As he spoke, his blood energy surged, and a trace of blood flowed out from his mouth. The fact that they went around you and took back their disciple can only mean that you've already been exposed. That person withdrew his hand and took back his heart. Poochie. Blood spurted out from the large hole in his chest, splashing onto the ground. The 17th Elder knelt down on one knee. He opened his mouth, but no words came out. His body fell to the ground, and he stopped breathing. It's useless for your family to keep such useless things. That person took out a handkerchief and wiped the blood off his hand. Then he condensed a flame and burned the handkerchief. He faintly sighed and disappeared. When Sima Yue and the rest arrived, there was only 17th Elder's corpse left. With just a glance, they were certain that the 17th Elder was no longer breathing. We're late, Ing Baichuan said unwillingly. Yue, have you heard any news about the Scarlet Bees? Liang Wuming asked. Sima Yue shook her head. They didn't say anything useful. Let me check and tell you what they said. She came to the side of the 17th Elder's corpse and felt that his body was still warm. She probed his body with her divine sense. What is she doing? Xiao Jingzhong asked. Check 17th's memories. Liang Wuming said. You can do that? Isn't the 17th Elder dead? It should be possible. Ing Baichuan said. But I don't know if we can find any useful information. Everyone looked at Sima Yue. When she was done, they would know the result from her expression. You didn't find anything useful, did you? Xiao Jingzhong asked. Yes. Sima Yue nodded. The other party was very careful and didn't leave behind any information. 17th Elder doesn't even know who he is. What did you learn from his memories? Liang Wuming asked. They found the 17th Elder 3 months ago. They captured 17th Elder's family and threatened him to hand over the information to a man in black. Other than the black-clothed man who had killed him, he had never seen anyone else's face. I don't even know what kind of power they are. Sima Yu shared the memories she saw. 17 is someone who values his family very much. They have grasped his weakness, Tang Yi said. Other than the man in black, 17th elder has no other useful information. Sima Yu said. Now that the other party has killed him, his family will definitely not be able to survive. Ing Baichuan said somewhat sadly. Baichuan, bury 17's body properly. Yes, master, Ing Baichuan replied. Yu Yue, continue to let the scarlet bees monitor every movement in the valley. If there's anything strange, report to me immediately, Liang Wuming instructed. Valley Lord, do you think there are still people in the valley who betrayed us? Xiao Jingzhong asked. The other party wouldn't know that 17 was exposed for no reason. This means that they have gotten information from other people. Liang Wuming said. Everyone disperse. The others went back. Sima Yu helped Ing Baichuan bury 17th elder. Seeing that Ing Baichuan's expression wasn't very good, she knew that he was feeling terrible. Senior brother Ing, don't be too sad. 17th elder has always taken good care of me. I didn't expect. Ing Baichuan's voice was a little hoarse. His eyes were red. He was angry and sad. From 17th elder's memories, we can see that he was still loyal to the Divine Devil Valley. Sima Yu patted Ing Baichuan's shoulder. His mistake was that after knowing that his family had been captured, he shouldn't have chosen to remain silent. He should have told the Valley Lord about it, and let everyone think of a solution. Now that he's dead, his family can't be saved either. No matter who it is, I will definitely catch them. Ing Baichuan clenched his fist. After they buried 17th elder's body, Sima Yu clapped her hands and said, Let's go and see senior uncle. There were too many people just now. I didn't tell him some things. Do you have any other useful information? No, I just have some doubts that I want to tell senior uncle. Sima Yu said, Let's go. The news of 17th elder betraying the Divine Devil Valley spread quickly in the valley. When everyone knew about it, they were all deeply moved. Everyone liked this elder, but they didn't expect the truth to be like this. When Sima Yu and Ing Baichuan came to Liang Wuming's room, they saw him in a daze. Sima Yu recalled what Ing Baichuan said just now. 17th elder was practically groomed by Liang Wuming. Their relationship wasn't shallow. Now that something like this happened, he couldn't help but feel sad. Liang Wuming saw them coming in. He kept his emotions and asked, Why are you here? There were too many people just now. There were some things that I didn't tell senior uncle. Sima Yu said. I found something unusual in 17th elder's memories. I don't know if it's considered useful information. What did you find? In 17th elder's memories, the man who came into contact with him looked a little like those people we saw in Cloud Sea City. Sima Yu said. Liang Wuming and Ing Baichuan were shocked. Are you sure? Sima Yu nodded. The figure doesn't look like it, but the aura is very similar to those people. It seems like they're from the same organization. If that's really the case, then the inner regions are playing tricks, Ing Baichuan said. I don't know what's going on with the inner regions these few years. They've been interfering with the inner regions matters and stirring up so much chaos. What are they trying to do? There should be some big turmoil in the inner regions, so they want to stretch their hands into the inner regions. Liang Wuming said, but they can't interfere with the inner regions matters for no reason, so they want to stir up trouble to give them a reason to take action. The inner regions have been in turmoil these few years. There are indeed some powerhouses who are contacting the inner regions, Ing Baichuan said. If it's the inner regions who are playing tricks, then those people from Cloud Cave and Kong Valley might not be their people. There are too few clues now, so these are only our guesses. Sima Yu said. But something happened at Kong Valley's side. I heard that they were poisoned by a poison that only our valley has. If we believe that this was done by Kong Valley, and Kong Valley's people think that they were poisoned by us, then the two factions will most likely fight, Ing Baichuan said worriedly. Kong Valley's side is fine, Sima Yu said. I've already gotten people to settle the matters there. Perhaps they will send someone to contact us soon. Oh, you've already settled it? Yes. Sima Yue said. If they send someone over, I hope that senior uncle won't make things difficult for them. Chapter 1047. You're still in contact with people from the Kong Valley? Liang Wuming asked in astonishment. Yes. Sima Yue said. That day, there were people from the Kong Valley among those disciples who attacked them, so I sent people to investigate in secret. In the end, we found out that there was also a situation on their side, so we got someone to mediate. Can that person succeed in mediating? Ying Baichuan asked worriedly. If this problem was not handled properly, the two forces might become enemies, and it would be difficult to resolve it in the future. Don't worry. His position in the Kong Valley is not low, Sima Yue said. So you don't have to worry about the Kong Valley. Thank you, Yue. Uncle Master, you're too kind. You've been so busy recently and I haven't done anything for the valley. It's my duty to do something now. Sima Yue smiled. If the inner regions are involved, then this matter won't be so easy to investigate. Ying Baichuan said. So, they hadn't been able to find out anything about the incident in Ocean of Cloud City at that time, and they would probably be unable to find anything even if they continued like this. I don't think our top priority right now is to find out who did it. Since it's related to the forces in the inner regions, it'll be much harder to find out. Sima Yue said. What we need to do now is to resolve the current crisis and not let their plan succeed. You're right. We do need to shift our focus, Liang Wuming said. We need to discuss this matter carefully. Sima Yue didn't participate much in the subsequent events. Although she was still letting the Scarlet Bees monitor everything in the Divine Devil Valley, the other party seemed to have discovered their intentions, so they didn't make any moves until another steward of the Divine Devil Valley was killed. This time, they didn't get any useful information, but they could confirm that there was someone in the Divine Devil Valley who was in contact with the other party. After that, the matter was completely silent. She didn't need to be involved in finding out the truth behind the framing and resolving the grudges that shouldn't have existed with other forces. Hence, she was free again. When she had nothing to do, she would go and check on the injured and see how they were recovering. You're recovering well, Sima Yue said with a smile after checking Yuni's body. Yuni moved her hand and smiled when she felt the strength in her hand. Thank you. If you didn't use the silver needle technique to connect my meridians, I think I would be a cripple now. He looked at her gratefully. I can only say that I'm glad to be able to help you. Sima Yue said. But that's all I can do. I can't do anything for the others. I can only watch them. You've healed all the people with broken tendons. Everyone is very grateful to you. Yuni's voice sounded a little sad. Those people's arms and legs were broken. You can't regenerate them. It's not your fault. Don't blame yourself. Yes. Sima Yue nodded. She could not do anything about those people. By the way, the assessment has been put on the agenda again. You should prepare well. Another assessment? Yuni was a little surprised. He thought that after such a thing happened, the valley would not have another assessment. Yes, because we couldn't find anything from the investigation. The valley decided to return to normal life. Sima Yue said. But the date hasn't been set yet. We'll see how your recovery is going. I'm already fine. I think the others should be fine too. Yuni said. Since there's going to be an assessment, I can't be lazy anymore. I have to practice well for a period of time. That's true. But you can't be too tired. Remember to strike a balance between work and rest. I'll go back first. Sima Yue stood up and bid farewell. After leaving Yuni's courtyard, she took a few turns and found Little Seven. She asked her to go back with her. Little Seven liked the alchemy hall very much now. Because there were precious pills everywhere, she could get some delicious radishes from time to time. Alright, those precious medicinal herbs were about the same as radishes in her eyes. The people in the alchemy hall respected Sima Yue more, so they liked Little Seven more. This was based on their understanding of Sima Yue. If they knew her strength and identity, they would like her even more. What did you find this time? Sima Yue saw her smile so happily and knew that she was in a good mood. Hee, just some big radishes. Little Seven stuffed the medicinal herbs in her hands into Sima Yoyue's hands. I want to eat candies. Sima Yoyue kept the medicinal herbs and said, let's go. I'll refine candies for you when we get back. Candies were very simple. It was to refine the medicinal herbs into pills. There was no need to add anything else. Little Seven liked to eat these pills. When they returned to the courtyard, they felt that there was someone inside. There's someone inside. Little Seven said. Sima Yue felt that there was someone inside. She smiled and pushed the door open to enter. The moment she entered, she saw the person sitting in the courtyard. Senior brother, why are you back? Have you settled the matters in the Sage Pavilion? She walked over and sat beside him. Little Seven ran outside to play. Before Sima Yue could sit down, Wu Lingyu pulled her into his embrace. He held her head and gave her a long kiss before letting go. I missed you. Wu Lingyu buried his head in her neck. I missed you too. Sima Yue hugged his shoulder. You haven't answered my question. Have you settled the matters in the Sage Pavilion? They sent another pavilion master over. Wu Lingyu said. Aren't you the Holy Sun? Shouldn't you be the pavilion master after Xiao Yin Xiao died? Sima Yue said in surprise. I rejected it. Wu Lingyu rubbed against her body. Why? If I become the pavilion master, then I will be very busy and won't have time to come back. Wu Lingyu said. If that's the case, then I won't be able to accompany you in the future. Sima Yoyue's eyes lit up. She held his face and said. You're saying that you can always accompany me in the future? I can for the next few years. Really? Wu Lingyu nodded. Seeing the joy in her eyes, he smiled. Sima Yue got a positive answer and kissed him on the cheek to express her excitement. Just as she wanted to go back, he held her head and kissed her lips, feeling her beauty. After a while, he let go of her. The two of them pulled at each other's lips. Can you really not go back for so long? What about the matters in the Sage Pavilion? The new pavilion master and I have a good relationship, so I don't have to hang around in front of him. Wu Lingyu said faintly. Sima Yue saw him like that and knew that it was not a normal relationship. He should be one of his people, or someone who was controlled by him. But no matter what, he said that he could accompany her. That was great. Chapter 1048. Read 336. By the way, does Martial Uncle and the rest know about your return? Sima Yue raised her head and looked into his seductive eyes. I already went to see Martial Uncle when you were chatting with Yuni. Wu Lingyu said. If you knew that I was in the alchemy hall, why didn't you look for me? Sima Yue poked his face with her finger. Wu Lingyu grabbed her hand and said. If I see you talking to other men, I'll be unhappy. But if I don't let you interact with others, you'll be unhappy. Sima Yue pursed her lips and smiled. This guy was obviously saying that he didn't like her being with other people. I came back this time with some news, Wu Lingyu said. About what? The Inner Circle's plan, Wu Lingyu said. What's the news? Is it related to the attack on our disciples? I've already told Uncle Master some of the relevant information. Wu Lingyu looked at her curious eyes. You don't have to care about those things. It's tiring to know too much. Oh, all right. Sima Yue did not force him to tell her. Anyway, as long as he was here, she did not need to care about anything and could focus on her own things. You said that Master went to chase after Aunt Feng. Why didn't he come back after so many years? Could something have happened? She asked worriedly. It's fine. Wu Lingyu said. That old man's life jade is still fine. Nothing happened. But there's been no news for so long, I'm a little worried. Sima Yue said. Why don't you go find your Aunt Feng? As long as that old man finds her, he will give up. Forget it then. Sima Yue said. I don't know how to find Aunt Feng. Even if I find her, I can't tell anyone about her. I promised her. Then don't worry about it, Wu Lingyu said. Yes. Sima Yue nodded. But I'm really curious about Aunt Feng's identity. The people who took Little Two away in the dark forest were very powerful at first glance, but when they saw Aunt Feng's soul imprint, they acted so, well, they seemed to be very respectful. her identity. If I'm not wrong, it should be higher than what these people know, Wu Lingyu said. You have an idea? No. But we can check, Wu Lingyu said. Sigh, I'll know when it's time. Sima Yue sighed. Fortunately, Little Spirit said that the planting of Heaven's scar is good. When this is planted, it can also heal Aunt Feng's injury. As for Xian Qiuhe's eyes, I also said that I would help him heal them. Wu Lingyu flicked her forehead and said, You're always thinking about those things. Why don't you think about me instead? I promise these things to others. Of course, I have to keep it in mind. Speaking of little two, do you still remember why there was a robbery of the auspicious beast? Wu Lingyu asked. Yes. It said that an immortal land is about to appear, and the auspicious beast's blood can open the door to the immortal land. Sima Yue said. Didn't they say that the immortal land would open soon? I'm afraid it's already over now. No. Wu Lingyu said. Because of some reasons there was a problem with the immortal land, and the opening time was delayed. So, we can make it in time? Sima Yue's eyes lit up. Wu Lingyu looked at her and knew that she was moved. He reached out and tapped her nose saying, I knew you would want to go. Then do you know where the immortal land is? How long before it opens? Sima Yue asked with a smile. There are still a few months. It's enough for you to prepare, Wu Lingyu said. Ha, then we'll go and take a look after the assessment. Sima Yue was in a good mood. The immortal land was a better place than the little realm, because these places were usually left behind by the Almighty, and there were more opportunities. If she was lucky, it was not impossible for her strength to increase greatly. In the following days, Sima Yue was even more comfortable. She did not have to worry about the matters in the valley, and she had someone she liked to accompany her. They could chat, answer her questions and guide her. There was also nothing urgent for her to do. She felt that she had gained weight in the past half a month. Yu, I think you've gained weight too. Little Seven giggled as she watched Sima Yue pinch the meat on her face. Sima Yue turned around and glared at her. Even if you know, don't say it out loud. Wu Lingyu sat under a tree at the side, holding a cup of tea in his hand. Seeing her glare, he smiled and shook his head. Yu, don't be angry. Even if you've grown fat, Brother Lingyu won't despise you. Little Seven covered her mouth and laughed. There's no point in despising me, Wu Lingyu replied. It's too late to despise me now. Sima Yue took out a spirit fruit and threw it at him. Wu Lingyu caught the spirit fruit. There was still water on it, and it was taken out after being washed. He took a bite, and it was quite sweet. I've already discussed with Martial Uncle. After the assessment is over, we can arrange for people to go to the immortal land, Wu Lingyu said. Are there auspicious beasts in the valley? Sima Yue asked. Don't you have one? Wu Lingyu blinked. You have one too. Sima Yue glared at him. Other than the people in the valley, what other arrangements do you have? Wu Lingyu asked. Sima Yue sat beside him, thought for a while and said, Brother and the others are in the little realm and haven't come out yet. I just have to bring some people from the sect over. Oh, if senior brother and senior sister aren't with the sect, they can come with us. Then you can inform them after the assessment is over. Wu Lingyu said. I'll contact them earlier. This is such a rare opportunity, we can't miss it. Otherwise, we'll regret it for the rest of our lives. Sima Yue replied. 2 days later, the Divine Devil Valley's disciple assessment officially began. Sima Yue and Wu Lingyu followed the hall masters to the rostrum. The disciples of the various halls were already waiting below. Yu, we always sit in the spectator's seat or the contestant's seat with you. I didn't expect that we would be able to sit on the rostrum this time. Little Seven sat beside Sima Yue and moved around on the chair. It's my first time sitting in this seat too. Sima Yue said. Be quiet, don't make any noise. Oh. Little Seven quietened down and stretched her neck to watch the competition below. The MC below went up and started to preside over the assessment in the valley. After explaining a bunch of rules, the first round of assessment finally started. It was Sima Yue's first time sitting here. Different seats had different angles. In the past, she watched how those people competed with a learning mentality. But this time, she watched with a judgmental attitude. She wanted to see if the disciples in the valley were all that outstanding. This book came from Pen and Book #web. Chapter 1049. Equals. The first day of the assessment was for the disciples of the Alchemy Hall. Uni and the others were all inside. Although the tablet ebook was injured last time, it had completely recovered now. There was no obstacle in the process of refining pills. Yue, Xiao Jingzhong called out softly. Old Xiao, what's the matter? Sima Yue turned to look at him. Nothing, I just wanted to thank you. Xiao Jingzhong said. Look at Uni and the others. If it weren't for you, they wouldn't be able to refine pills now. That's right, she said. Yue, your silver needle technique can be said to have reached perfection. It's even better than many miraculous pills. Thank you for your compliment, Elder He. Sima Yue smiled. I've been busy before. I only remembered to ask you now. He said hesitantly. Elder He, is there something that you can't say? Sima Yue asked when she saw his hesitation. It's like this. We've never heard of your silver needle technique before. Can you teach it to the disciples in the valley? I know this idea is a little abrupt, but, Elder He, you're exaggerating. I'm now the Junior Valley Master of Divine Devil Valley. This silver needle technique can heal others. It's a good thing that I can contribute to the valley. Sima Yue said. For ordinary people, these skills would usually be kept a secret. Only when they were establishing a sect would they spread it out. He did not expect her to agree so quickly. Really? He was so happy that even his beard was smiling. Of course it's true. Sima Yue was amused by his expression. However, it's easy to get started with this silver needle technique, but hard to master. I can only leave some of the basic knowledge in the valley. If you need to master it, you still need to study it among the disciples. Of course. He nodded. Then I'll go back and sort out the knowledge of acupuncture points and silver needles, and send it to the pharmacist hall. Good, ha ha. The assessment continued. Alchemy, tool refining, array formation, and so on. Over the next few days, they spent their time in the assessment process. Just as Sima Yue and the rest were going through the assessment in the valley, the news of the Immortal Land opening had spread throughout the mainland. Various forces were eager to take action. The requirements for opening the fairyland, such as the blood of auspicious beasts, reminded the world of the robbery of Little Two in the dark forest. Only then did they realize that the news of the Immortal Land's appearance had already been known at that time. However, Little Two had been taken away. This matter was no longer a secret. Without the auspicious beast, where would they go to find the blood of the auspicious beast to open the gate to the fairyland? Therefore, during this period of time, the continent began to search for auspicious beasts again. Some factions with auspicious beasts were not in a hurry, but those independent people could not. They had to seek protection to protect their auspicious beasts. On this day, Sima Yue came to the courtyard from Guangqi, and took out the Mother Sunstone and Shimin Feng. Sister, what's wrong? Shimin Feng asked. Feng, or let me tell you something. Sima Yue took the spirit fruit that Wu Lingyu gave her, took a bite, and then said, Do you still remember those people robbing Little Two in the dark forest? I remember. Are you going to talk about the Immortal Land? Shimin Feng asked. You know about it too? Of course, now the whole continent is talking about the Immortal Land. No matter how hidden our Heartbreak Valley is, we should know about such a big thing. Shimin Feng said with a smile. Since you know, what do you think? Sima Yue asked. I do have an idea. You seem to be in a good mood. What do you think? Tell me about it. Sima Yue heard that his tone was more relaxed, with a hint of bad intentions. Zhongzheng clan also wants to enter the Immortal Land. Shimin Feng said. Zhongzheng clan? Sima Yue's eyes lit up, and the corner of her mouth slanted. Do they have auspicious beasts? No. Shimin Feng said. Then they still want to go in? Aren't they thinking of a way? Shimin Feng said. I see that they have been very active recently. They will definitely think of a way. Even if they can't find it, we have to let them find it. Brother Feng, you're having a bad idea. Little Seven said loudly to the Sun Mother Stone. Don't I want to help them? Shimin Feng said. You don't want to help them. I think you just want to get them in, and then kill them. Little Seven said with a smile. Shimin Feng laughed. What do you think? Sima Yue asked with a smile. Naturally, I want to help them find the blood of the auspicious beasts. Shimin Feng said. If you have an idea, go ahead and do it. If you need anything, just tell me. Sima Yue gave him full authority. Then do you know where the auspicious beasts are? He really said if he needed anything. She didn't know where the auspicious beasts were, so she could only look at Wu Lingyu. I just happen to know where the auspicious beasts are. Wu Lingyu shook the wine cup in his hand at Sima Yue. Oh. Sima Yue stared at his calm look and looked at the sky. What else do you not know? Wu Lingyu smiled and didn't say anything. A few days later, the Zhongzheng clan sent a piece of good news. Clan head. Found it. An elder ran to the meeting hall excitedly and shouted. The clan head of the Zhongzheng clan, Zhongzheng Qingren, stood up from his seat. Really? You found the whereabouts of the auspicious beasts? That elder was so excited that his face turned red. He nodded vigorously and said, Yes, clan head. The news this time is absolutely true. Where is it? It's in a valley in the southern wasteland. But what? Zhongzheng Qingren asked. This news has already reached the ears of many powers. Everyone is heading there now. The elder said, We have to act quickly. Otherwise, we will fall behind others. Since you found it, then bring people there. Let Song Mao go. You must bring the auspicious beasts back. Zhongzheng Qingren shouted. Yes, clan head. That elder turned and left hurriedly. Clan head, the auspicious beasts this time are related to the immortal land. The junior valley master is still young. It's better to let a few elders keep an eye on it. Another elder stood up. You're right. You go with the fifth elder and young master. Zhongzheng Qingren ordered. Yes, clan head. Half a day later, Zhongzheng Song Mao left the clan with a group of people and rushed to a valley in the southern wasteland. Half a day later, Sima Yue received news from Shimin Feng. Sister, there's news. This time it's Zhongzheng Song Mao and 2 other people. Sima Yue smiled brightly. Okay, then let's go according to plan, HP. Chapter 1050. Zhongzheng Song Mao brought the Zhongzheng clan to southern wilderness and went straight to Xisha Mountain Range in Luli County. Luli County is the biggest domain in the southern wasteland because there are several big clans and sects here. Their combined strength is the strongest. Huayang Palace was also located in Luli County. As the largest power in Luli County, it was located at the center of Luli County, not far from the Qin family. When Zhongzheng Song Mao brought them to Xisha Mountain Range, the people from Huayang Palace had already arrived. Young Master Zhongzheng, my young palace master invites you. A guard wearing Yinyang Palace's uniform came to the Zhongzheng family's camp and said arrogantly. The people of the Zhongzheng clan did not look too good. They did not expect the people of the Yinyang Palace to be here. Moreover, looking at these 2 people, it seemed that they were very dissatisfied with the fact that they had concealed the news of the auspicious beast. I didn't expect the young palace master to come as well. I even said that I would inform the palace master and the others after confirming the news of the auspicious beast. Although he was unhappy, Zhongzheng Song Mao still responded with a smile. I hope you really think so. A guard said, Young Master Zhongzheng, please. You guys set up camp here. Elders, follow me to meet the young palace master. Zhongzheng Song Mao said. Yes, young master. Zhongzheng Song Mao brought 2 elders and followed the guards to the place where Huayang Palace set up camp. Along the way, they saw the tents of many forces. So many forces actually came? Third elder Zhongzheng Hai frowned when he saw those tents. How did these forces arrive so quickly? Fifth elder Zhongzheng Quan was also puzzled. At this time, it's related to the auspicious beast and the immortal land. Of course, those people would come quickly. Zhongzheng Song Mao said. From what I see, there might be more forces coming later. If that was the case, their chances of snatching the auspicious beast would be reduced. But no matter what, they had to obtain that auspicious beast. He felt that someone was staring at him, but when he looked over, he didn't see anyone looking at him. Sima Yuyue, Wu Lingyu, Shimen Feng, and Qin Emo stood at the top of the mountain. Just now, Zhongzheng Song Mao was looking in their direction. I didn't expect Zhongzheng Song Mao to be so sensitive, Sima Yue said. Zhongzheng Song Mao isn't a simple character, Qin Emo said. He can become the young master of the clan at this age. Naturally, he has some ability. Really? Sima Yue smiled faintly. If that's the case, it's even better. Breaking one of their arms is better than plucking a few feathers. In the past, this Zhongzheng Song Mao killed many of our family members. Shimen Feng said. This time we must get some interest for our dead relatives. Don't worry, they won't be able to return this time, Sima Yue said. Although the plan was a little rushed, it was absolutely perfect. Those who deserve to pay the price, she would make them stay here without leaving a single one behind. Zhongzheng Song Mao, Zhongzheng Hai and Zhongzheng Quan arrived at Huaiyang Palace. Seeing their huge campsite, they knew that Huaiyang Palace had sent many people over this time. The guard brought them to a luxurious tent and turned to leave. The guard at the door stared at them and said, Young Master Zhongzheng, young palace master is waiting for you inside. Waiting for you? It meant that the two elders weren't in the area. You guys wait for me here, Zhongzheng Song Mao said to the two elders. Then he opened the tent and went in. He saw Huaiyang Palace's palace master Chao Lu lying on the couch and bowed to him. Song Mao greets young palace master. There were two beauties beside Chao Lu. One was fanning him while the other was feeding him fruits. When he saw Zhongzheng Song Mao, he spat out the seed in his mouth into the beauty's hand and said with a sharp voice, Zhongzheng Song Mao, I haven't seen you for a few years. Your family's guts have grown. Young palace master, you're exaggerating. My Zhongzheng family is loyal to Huaiyang Palace, Zhongzheng Song Mao said respectfully. Is that so? Chao Lu waved his hand and indicated that the beauty beside him didn't need to feed him fruits anymore. He sat up from the couch and said, If you're loyal, why didn't you tell us about the appearance of the auspicious beast? We just got the news. Once we got the news, we sent someone to inform the palace. We didn't wait for the people in the palace because we wanted to take the initiative. But we didn't expect young palace master to come here first, Zhongzheng Song Mao said seriously. Is that so? Chao Lu stared straight at him. He didn't say whether he believed it or not. Absolutely true. Zhongzheng Song Mao's expression didn't change. He said it as if it was true. Chao Lu looked for a while and smiled. My Huaiyang Palace still believes in your Zhongzheng family. Zhongzheng Song Mao was relieved, but his expression didn't change. He said, Young palace master, don't worry. My Zhongzheng family will never be disloyal to Huaiyang Palace. Then I'll wait for you to catch the auspicious beast in front of me. Chao Lu said, Don't worry. If you catch the auspicious beast, the immortal land will definitely reward you. Song Mao will definitely catch the auspicious beast. Outside the tent, Zhongzheng Hai and Zhongzheng Quan heard the conversation inside clearly. After a while, they saw Zhongzheng Song Mao come out and greeted him. Young master, go back and bring the people from the family over. We'll camp together with Huaiyang Palace. Zhongzheng Song Mao ordered. Zhongzheng Hai and Zhongzheng Quan understood what this meant. If they lived together, Zhongzheng family would definitely do everything. Huaiyang Palace would only command from behind. But what could they do? Their strength wasn't as good as Huaiyang Palace. They still needed to rely on Huaiyang Palace to protect them. We'll go and call the people from the family over. Zhongzheng Hai said. Go. Zhongzheng Song Mao's voice was somewhat restrained. The people from Huaiyang Palace couldn't tell, but the two elders who were familiar with him knew. An hour later, Zhongzheng family's tent was set up beside Huaiyang Palace. Sima Yue and Wu Lingyu had been watching the situation over here. They weren't surprised by Huaiyang Palace's request at all. How did you leak the news to Huaiyang Palace without anyone knowing? Wu Lingyu hugged the person in his arms and asked. Sima Yue rubbed against his arms and said, Huaiyang Palace and Qin family aren't far from each other. They've been paying attention to Qin family's situation. I just made a little movement in Qin family, and they naturally knew. What about the other forces? Conveniently brought them along. Sima Yue said. If they're the only ones who came here, then this news seems too fake. It's also because they're eager to get it. Otherwise, with such news appearing at this time, they definitely wouldn't be fooled so easily. Wu Lingyu said. If it wasn't for this moment, I wouldn't have thought of such a method. Sima Yue laughed slyly. But is your friend reliable? Chapter 1051. Read 336. Of course. Wu Lingyu said. But we'll have to give him some compensation when the time comes. What compensation? Something you have. Naturally. I can only agree if you have me. Wu Lingyu said. Then what do you want? Golden snake fruit. Golden snake fruit? Sima Yue sat up from Wu Lingyu's embrace. We only want a little bit of its blood, and he wants a golden snake fruit from us? Wu Lingyu looked at Sima Yue's angry face and said with a smile. It's not one, it's two. Anyway, you have so many in your spirit pagoda, giving it two doesn't matter. Fluting a burning house. Sima Yue pouted. It's useful, Wu Lingyu said. Even if this incident didn't happen, I would still ask you to give it too. Are you close? Sima Yue asked. Otherwise, he wouldn't have asked her for the golden snake fruit. It's not bad, Wu Lingyu said. And it has a clansman that has just evolved, who has a bit of history with you. You're related to me? Who? Sima Yue asked curiously. You'll know when the time comes. Wu Lingyu smiled but didn't answer. Hee, jackals of the same tribe. Sima Yue glared at him. Huh? Wu Lingyu laughed out loud. She was quite cute like this. If you want 2 golden snake fruits, that's fine too. Sima Yue laid back in his embrace and played with his hair. As long as it handles this matter well for me, I will give it to him. But if it doesn't handle it well and messes things up for me, then there will be no golden snake fruit. This golden snake fruit is indeed useful to him. He wasn't trying to take advantage of you, so don't be so angry. Wu Lingyu gently kissed her head and said with a smile. That's my baby. Sima Yue snorted. To others, it's a treasure, but to you there's a whole pile, it's no longer a treasure. At most, I'll let him do something to the blood and let Yinyang Palace and Zhongzheng clan suffer a bit in the immortal land. Wu Lingyu saw through her thoughts. That's more like it. Sima Yue smiled with satisfaction. In the Shisha mountain range, an ape couldn't help but shiver. It felt like it was being targeted. The other ape saw it and said, Old ancestor, are you all right? It's fine. The old macaque shook its head. Both of you have to stay by my side for the next few days. Ancestor, are we really going to help them? The other yellow-haired ape was a little reluctant. It didn't have a good impression of humans. You two need the golden snake fruit to evolve. The old ape said, Moreover, I have a good relationship with him, so it's fine to help him. Does he really have the golden snake fruit? I still feel a bit uncertain. Little Ten, there will be several golden snake fruits every time. Why did you only get one? The yellow ape looked at Little Ten and asked. There were many humans fighting for it. Little Ten said. At that time my bloodline power was not activated. My strength was very low. I wasn't a match for so many people. Little Ten thought of the scene that year. He had a deep memory of the bright eyes hidden in the black cloak. Although she stole his golden snake fruit, she didn't kill them all. She gave him one so that he could successfully activate his bloodline and come to this continent to meet his own kind. If we can go to Yilin continent, we might be able to find that person and see if she has any remaining golden snake fruits. The yellow ape said. Little Ten shook his head and said, After my bloodline was activated, I tried to find that person, but I couldn't find her. I think she must have disguised herself. If I go back to find her now, I won't be able to find her. How do you know if you don't try? The yellow ape said. Little Huang, you don't have to worry. If Wu Lingyu really doesn't have any golden snake fruits, we can go to Yilin continent and try again. The old ape saw that the yellow ape was very anxious and comforted him. Old ancestor, I know that you also need the golden snake fruit. Little Huang said. You didn't say it because Wu Lingyu said that there were only 2 golden snake fruits, and you wanted to leave them to us. But what about you? So we still have to find a way to find that person in Yilin continent. Let's talk about this later. The old ape said. They are coming. The old ape looked at the mountaintop and saw Wu Lingyu and Sima Yue flying over. Wu Lingyu took Sima Yue to a towering tree and said, This is the old ape's temporary nest. Sima Yue looked at the big tree. The crown of the tree was almost half a kilometer wide. She didn't know how many years it would take to grow to this size. The enchantment surrounding the big tree dissipated and the two flew in. As soon as they entered, they saw 3 apes sitting on the branches. It's you. Little Ten saw Sima Yue and called out excitedly. Sima Yue looked at Little Ten in confusion. It knew her? Why was it so excited? You are the person who stole my golden snake fruit in Pu Luo mountain range. Little Ten looked at her and said with certainty. It couldn't be wrong about that pair of eyes. It was definitely her. The moment Sima Yue heard this, she immediately understood who this ape was. To be able to say the words Pu Luo mountain range and golden snake fruit, other than the ape that had snatched the golden snake fruit from her, there was no one else. No wonder Wu Lingyu said that they had some relationship. She didn't expect that they were actually old acquaintances. Why do you look different from before? Since the other party had already recognized her, there was no need to deny it. After all, she had already promised to give them the golden snake fruit. Little Ten was a little excited and said, It's really you. It seems that I didn't recognize you wrongly. Sima Yue shrugged and said, Why didn't you stay in the Yilin continent? Why did you come to the primordial lands? And his strength had increased by quite a bit, entering the ranks of sacred beasts. That year, the golden snake fruit that you gave me stimulated the blood in my body, allowing me to come to this continent, and even find my clansmen. Little Ten said. When the old ape and Little Huang saw this, they both understood. The person in front of them was the person they were just talking about. The person who had the golden snake fruit in the Yilin continent. They had been looking for the golden snake fruit in the continent for so long, but they had never seen it. How could there be news of the golden snake fruit suddenly? So it was the person that Little Ten had talked about. Little Ten, is she really that person? Little Huang was very disappointed. Little Ten nodded with certainty. That means that there really isn't a third golden snake fruit in this world. Little Huang muttered. Little Ten also realized this problem. Since Sima Yue was here, where were they going to find the third golden snake fruit? Royal Uncle, when the time comes, you and old ancestor can use those 2 golden snake fruits. I have already eaten one, so I don't need it anymore. Little Ten said. Sima Yue raised her eyebrows. The third golden snake fruit? This book came from the book and book #web. Chapter 1052. The old macaque sighed and said, The 2 of you are the hope of the future. I'm already so old, so I don't need to waste that good thing. Ancestor. Little Ten cried out anxiously. Let's talk about this later. We still have guests now. The old ape said. When Little Ten saw him like this, he was so anxious that he was about to cry. What happened to you guys? Sima Yue asked. Little Ten looked at Sima Yue and said, You took so many golden snake fruits at that time. Do you have any more? More? Yes. Little Ten looked at her expectantly. Do you have 3 golden snake fruits? Our deal is 2 golden snake fruits. Sima Yue said. I know, but we... Little Ten couldn't finish his sentence because the old ape was staring at him. All 3 of you need 3 golden snake fruits? Sima Yue asked the old ape. Yes. The old ape said somewhat helplessly. The golden snake fruit is the key spirit medicine for our clan to activate our bloodline and evolve. If we have the golden snake fruit, we can evolve to a higher level. In the past, we didn't have much hope, but after meeting Little Ten, we knew that this world still has the golden snake fruit. You guys seem to be in urgent need, Sima Yue said. Old ancestor was injured in the past. If he doesn't evolve, I'm afraid he won't have much time left. Little Huang said, but if we don't eat it, we won't be able to continue evolving, and the old ancestor wants us to eat it. Why? Sima Yue looked at the old ape and asked, even if I eat the golden snake fruit, I won't be able to increase my bloodline any further. Why waste such a precious spiritual medicine? The old ape said, why don't we let them try? Perhaps they can reach a new height of our race. But it will save your life, Sima Yue said. The old macaque shook its head. Nothing is more important than the development of a race. Their future is more important than my broken body. You are really? Sima Yue admired the old ape. At this moment, she finally understood why Wu Lingyu had such a good relationship with him. What you want us to do won't be dangerous, right? Little Huang looked at Wu Lingyu. We've already seen the commotion outside. Many people have come. There are indeed quite a few, Wu Lingyu said. Old ancestor's body is not well. If the danger is too great, we will not agree to continue. Little Huang said. If that's the case, then you won't have the golden snake fruit. Sima Yue shrugged, as if she didn't care whether they would withdraw midway. Even if there is no golden snake fruit, Little Huang said firmly. Don't worry about me, I'm fine. The old ape said. Sima Yue stared at them for a long time and said, if you can help me with something else, I will give you 3 golden snake fruits. 3? You have another one? Little Ten looked at her excitedly. Sima Yue nodded her head. When she nodded her head, Little Huang and the old ape also became excited. The old ape even subconsciously looked at Wu Lingyu. Seeing that he didn't have any strange expression, it believed her words. What do you want us to do? Don't we need your blood in the end? Sima Yue charmed them. I want to add something in it. After more than an hour, Sima Yue and Wu Lingyu left, leaving behind the 3 apes in a daze. This person is too evil. Fortunately, we are not her enemy. Little Huang muttered. I'm very glad that we didn't fight her head on. Little Ten also sighed. The old ape was the calmest. It scratched the fur on its body and said, you must remember not to fight her head on in the future. Don't become her enemy. With your IQ, you can't beat her. Little Huang and Little Ten looked at the old ape. Old ancestor, do you have to be so direct? But although she is a little cruel to her enemies, she is still a good person. Little Ten was excited when he thought of the 3 golden snake fruits. She said that she would heal old ancestor's injuries first before eating the golden snake fruit. This way, old ancestor can continue to develop the power of blood. Little Huang said, but can she heal you? If the people of Divine Devil Valley can't heal me, then I can only use the golden snake fruit to keep my body hanging. The old ape said. Then we will wait for them to set up the mechanism. Sima Yue and Wu Lingyu walked a few rounds in the mountain range, and chose a suitable place. After setting up the mechanism, they contacted the old ape and the others and told them what to do next. The old ape and the others saw that the place Sima Yue chose was a canyon with dense forest. It was indeed a good place to set up an ambush. After they finished listening to Sima Yue's explanation, the 3 apes had the same thought again. They must not be enemies with this guy in the future. Outside the mountain range, all the forces were talking about the auspicious beast's aura that they felt just now. That aura was too exciting. If they could get it, then they could enter the immortal land. Qin Mo and Shimin Feng looked at those excited people, and felt that they were a little pitiful. How do you think they will feel if they find out that it was all premeditated? Qin Mo smiled faintly, not feeling guilty for what he did. They won't know, Shimin Feng said. This matter isn't fake. It's just that it was arranged by someone. That's true, Qin Mo said. After so many years, they finally have to pay a price. Shimin Feng pursed his lips and didn't reply. That's right. After so many years, they finally had to ask for some interest. Suddenly, there was a fluctuation in space. The 2 of them looked up and saw Kong Sengyi leading the people from Kong Valley out of the space tunnel. Why are you guys here? Seeing Kong Sengyi, Shimin Feng's face showed a trace of a smile. Kong Sengyi didn't expect to see Shimin Feng as soon as he arrived. He smiled and flew down. You told me those things. Aren't I here to make your plan look more realistic? You're not afraid of killing your people. No, you won't let them die. Kong Sengyi said affirmatively. You guys aren't the kind of people who will kill the innocent for revenge. You really know us. Sima Yue and Wu Lingyu came back, and just happened to hear Kong Sengyi's words. They smiled and replied. Of course. Kong Sengyi slightly raised his chin. Tell me, what's your plan? Is there anything you need our help with? You guys came at the right time. I have something that I need people to do. It's not convenient to call the Qin family. Since this girl would be her sister-in-law sooner or later, Sima Yue didn't hold back and ordered her around. After hearing Sima Yue's words, Kong Sengyi's eyes lit up. He slapped her shoulder and said, You're really a con man. Chapter 1053. After feeling the aura of the auspicious beast that day, everyone in the mountain range was excited. They all sent people to find the whereabouts of the auspicious beast. The people of the Yinyang Palace were no exception. Please search product #book net to see the most complete. Update the fastest. Of course, with the Zongjing family there, most of the people from the Yinyang Palace wouldn't go out. They just symbolically sent some people to follow the Zongjing family. However, it was unknown whether the Yinyang Palace and the Zongjing clan were lucky or not. Others went to the mountain range to search, but did not find the whereabouts of the auspicious beast. When they went out, they happened to encounter the old ape and a spirit beast fighting. The aftermath of the battle affected the entire team. Out of a team of 100 people, only a few survived. The rest were all dead. However, most of the people who died were from the Zongjing clan. Chao Le didn't feel any heartache at all. Instead, he was excited by the news that they brought back. You're saying that the old ape is injured? He pushed away the beauty beside him excitedly. Yes, young palace master, we saw it with our own eyes. The old ape was injured by his opponent and managed to escape in the end. That power was very strong. If we didn't run fast enough, we would have died like those people from the Zongjing clan. The Yinyang Palace guard said. How's the situation with the old ape? Zongjing Songmao asked. Half of the people from the Zongjing clan went out, but only a few returned. It would be fine if they found the auspicious beast, but if they didn't catch it in the end, then the loss would be huge. Right. How is the old ape? Chao Le asked. Replying to young palace master, the old ape's condition is very bad. It can be said that his life is hanging by a thread. If it wasn't for a little ape that came out and saved him at the last moment, he would have died. The guard said, according to this subordinate's guess, his injury should be very serious. Even if the auspicious beast's self-healing ability is very strong, it is impossible to recover in a short time. If we can find him during this time, we have a good chance of catching him. How strong is the ape that suddenly appeared? Zongjing Songmao asked. It's just an ordinary sacred beast. All right. Chao Le got down from the couch and said, Bring everyone out. You must find them before the old ape recovers. Yes, young palace master. The guard also became excited. Remember, don't let the other forces know about this. Zongjing Songmao reminded. That's right. If other powers find out about this, it'll be troublesome to deal with them. Chao Le said. Then I'll bring people to track down the old ape's whereabouts. Go. Chao Le nodded and called out to him. Go and gather everyone. I'll personally lead them over. Young palace master, the mountain range is filled with danger. If we encounter anything, cut the crap. This is such a rare opportunity. If I miss it, how am I going to explain it to master? Chao Le said. Hurry up and gather people for me. Remember, don't make too much noise. Yes, young palace master. The people from the Zongjing clan and the Yinyang Palace quickly gathered. These people added up to a few hundred people. The scale wasn't small. In order to hide from the public, they didn't keep the tents. They left a few people at the campsite to look after it. The rest followed Chao Le and Zongjing Songmao to the mountain range. Watching them enter the mountain, Sima Yue and Shimin Feng looked at each other. Inform Qin Mo and Xiang Yi that the people from the Yinyang Palace and the Zongjing clan have entered. Let them follow the plan, Sima Yue said softly. Shimen Feng took out the Sun Mother Stone and contacted the two groups of people in the mountain. He told them about the commotion here. Let's go. We'll follow them to watch a good show. Sima Yue called out Thousand Resonance and fused into another person. Wu Lingyu twisted the illusion ring and turned into an inconspicuous man. Shimen Feng took out the human skin mask and put it on. The aura of the three people changed, and they turned into another three people. If they didn't see them disguising themselves, no one would be able to guess their identities. Qin Mo and Kong Sengyi brought their own teams to hide in the mountain. When they heard Shimen Feng's news, they were energized. Brothers, let's be alert. The people from the Zhongzheng clan are here. We have to act our part well. Don't let Yue and the others down. Do you understand? Kong Sengyi said to his group of people. Miss, don't worry. We will act like it's real. Someone patted his chest and promised. These people were not ordinary people from the Kong Valley. They were all her trusted subordinates who followed her around. Although they didn't know why she did this, they would do it well if she wanted them to do it. On the other side, Qin Mo kept the Sun Mother Stone and said to the people beside him, Did you hear that? Yes, Master. We will arrange it now, Muwen said. Master, don't worry. We will bring them to the arranged place, Qin Hong said. If they don't take the bait, it's not impossible to kill them on the spot, Qin Mo said. All right. With Master's words, we will know what to do. Qin Hong and Muwen looked at each other and went to arrange the following matters. Chao Lu and Zhongzheng Song Mao brought people to the place where the old ape and another spirit beast fought. Young Palace Master, this is the place where the old ape and the others fought. Yinyang Palace Guard pointed to a mountain peak and said, There is indeed the scent of the auspicious beast. Someone smelled the old ape scent and said excitedly, Which direction did the old ape escape to? Zhongzheng Quan looked at the destroyed mountain peak and frowned. He smelled it. East. Zhongzheng Song Mao looked to the east. The mountain range there was higher, the forest was denser, and the spirit beasts living there were more powerful. That should be the direction where the old ape lives. He said, There are many powerful spirit beasts inside. If we chase after them, I'm afraid it will be dangerous. We still have to chase after them, Chaola said. This time we have to catch the auspicious beast. Otherwise, we won't have a share in the immortal land. But young Palace Master. Zhongzheng Quan wanted to say that it was too dangerous to consider more, but he was interrupted before he finished. Why? Your Zhongzheng clan wants to back out? If you want to back out, don't blame me for reporting to Master. Chaola glanced at Zhongzheng Song Mao from the corner of his eyes. The threat was obvious. Zhongzheng Song Mao felt the killing intent from Chaola. He glared at Zhongzheng Quan and said to Chaola, No matter what young Palace Master wants to do, my Zhongzheng clan will definitely follow. Fifth Elder didn't mean to back out. He meant that it is too dangerous to chase to the east. We can't be sure that the auspicious beast is really there. If we don't catch the auspicious beast and lose our people inside, it's not worth it. Then what do you mean? Chaola squinted his eyes and stared at Zhongzheng Song Mao. His gaze was cold. Before Zhongzheng Song Mao could speak, someone shouted from behind. Someone is coming from there. It's Kong Valley's people. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.